He's early. Yeah, my wife is back. So as a result, I don't know what to do with myself. It's like the gas pedal is, it's not like I'm not pressing the gas pedal, but I'm not going, Ree! I'm not putting it like down to the metal. 90%. You know what really grinds my gears? People who don't go fast enough in the merge lane to get on the highway. Possibly the most dangerous normalized driving habit. The highway is 100 kilometers an hour, let's just say. 60 to 70 miles an hour. Catch me 7 cars back in a 15-car lineup because there's a Dodge Caravan at the front that's doing 45. We're trying to merge at 45. Nobody wants to let us in. The people behind me are honking their horn at me. I'm going, what do you want me to do? They're going, just crash into the people in front of you. Every time someone drives slow in the merge lane, I just say, yeah, we're all dead. I think that's fair. I was going to say that's the most annoying thing, but really like the most annoying thing when driving is basically whatever is currently happening to me. Like yesterday, I was behind someone in traffic and it was like bumper to bumper traffic, but they were keeping like a 7-car length distance with the car in front of them. And I was like, this is the most annoying shit that's ever happened. It's not, but it was at the moment. How was the Peloton ride? It was fantastic. It was like a 45-minute, 2010s Bradley Rose ride performance, 520 something. I can't remember exactly. It was pretty good though. I feel like I'm not like 100% yet, but like the strength that left my body last week is like starting to return. I don't feel like I have brain fog anymore. I was like pissed off last Thursday. I think it was like that. You know what happened? And it's almost is more sad than anything else. I think the norovirus like sapped my. It made me diarrhea so much that I shat out some water I needed to keep the thoughts firing well in my brain. Which then led me, like on some level, I was like, I know that I'm stupider than normal right now, but no matter what I do, I can't recapture that electricity, right? So I was like pissed off that I'm like, normally I would be better than this, but I'm dumb right now and that's pissing me the fuck off. First stream in what? It's like 4 days after a week in which we streamed 2 days, the week in which we had norovirus, some other respiratory illness as well. People come in, hey, hope you're feeling well. By the way, are you ever going to play this game? I don't fucking know. It's been 3 seconds. Just relax. I have no clue. My ass, literally, they just took the handcuffs off. I've been out of prison for 5 seconds. People are like, would you rather have $500,000 or lunch with Jay-Z? And I'm like, well, lunch with Jay-Z, but can I think about it? Can I sleep on it a little bit? You should custom upload a few existing emotes under different names to better Twitch TV. Why? What are you talking about? I don't understand. I'm not mad at the suggestion. I'm just like, why? To fuck with chat? I don't even know what it does. What do you mean what it does? So people would type in the emote. They wouldn't know it was an emote and then it would make an emote. I don't care about your asses at all. So they would try to type Joel. They would get Peepo Talk instead. What? What are you talking about? You've been workshopping that since Thursday afternoon? That's the first message you come through after 4 days? Then for the next 5 hours, people would be like, why is Joel Peepo Talk? And I'd be like, oh, I thought it would be funny to change it. People would be like, I get it. Hilarious. And then they would be like, I haven't been here in 6 weeks. Is he still playing Midnight Suns? And I'd be like, yeah. And they'd be like, lol. Anyway, I'm going back to Forspoken. There's a 0% chance I play Forspoken. I don't even play the AAA games that get like 90s. Me playing one that gets like a mid 60, I mean, that's just like insane. Not to mention every clip I've seen of it is insanely annoying. Not to mention the only reviews I've seen of it None of them come from like normal. Okay, that's like not the right way to phrase it. None of them come from like what I would consider to be the biggest outlets in games media. Instead, they all come from like PlayStation Lover. PlayStation Lover says pretty, when what the quote is if you can get it on sale, it's pretty good. I got nothing but respect for PlayStation Lover. I'm just saying. What game are you talking about? It's Forspoken. Seems pretty, I mean, like, it seems like pretty much, I would say, like my least favorite genre, which is not, I know it's very popular, but like third-person action-adventure games, I think I'm just over them at this point, and have been for like 7 years. But then also with like Stewie Griffin / Chloe from Life is Strange as the main protagonist, and then Vision / Jarvis as like the straight man that she's bouncing her banter off of.
Destruction and corruption are forms of creation in themselves.
Wow, you sound like a serial killer.
What?
Destruction and corruption are beautiful forms of creation in themselves.
I don't sound like that.
You absolutely sound like that.
No, you absolutely sound like that. Yeah, see? Two can play at that game.
You're fucking stupid.
I would rather be dead, for sure. Like, I thought the trailer was just kind of cut bad. But then I watched that, like, unfiltered clip where she kills 2 beasts.
Did I just do that?
Well, definitely with my assistance.
I did not just do that.
We did.
I just moved shit with my mind.
Perhaps our connection has somehow awoken some abilities.
I just moved shit with my mind.
I just keep hearing I.
I just moved shit with my freaking mind! Yeah, okay, that is something I do now. I do magic, talk to sentient cuffs, kill jacked up beasts. You know what? I'll probably fly next.
Now you're just being ridiculous.
Oh, that's too far. Good to know there's a line.
If you could just master these new abilities, with my help, of course.
Did you not just see me take out that gnarly beast? Oh, bring it, you mangled monsters.
And then she went like, holy flirkin' shart. Did I just do that? So yeah, I'm shooting magical spells out of my hands. I'm talking to a magic gauntlet. Pretty soon I'm gonna be able to fly. And I was like, that shit was literally, that's the trailer. They did not cut like a sizzle reel. They just they went, that line is the line that's going to sell it. By the way, I haven't made this yet, and it never will, but I saw today, and I wish sketch shows still existed, because we had 2 good ones recently that we basically stole from Twitter. One of them is guy who tries to steal a flat screen from the self-checkout, but then when he scans it as bananas, it costs more than a flat screen would, because TVs are cheap now. It could come, no, a TV might be like $400, but when he scans it as 4011, it comes through as like $750, and then he has to like figure out what to do. That could be humorous. And then also, how about an absurd funhouse mirror of the new movie trailer convention, which is, there used to be trailers, and then like at some point we got teasers, which is like, hey, it's not quite a trailer, but like this is a movie that's coming out, and here's a voice line and a picture of the actor. Now, in front of the teaser, they have something that's like, are you ready, America? 'Cause you're about to get your first look at Wizards of the Coast, Dungeons and Dragons. And like while this voice acting is going on, there's like a montage of shit from the trailer. It's like they took the trailer and cut it down into a 5-second sizzle reel so that you don't get bored of the trailer. There's now I think you could do something with that. Are you ready, America? 'Cause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like a D pops up on the screen. That's the D from the new upcoming action-adventure fantasy film, Dungeons and Dragons, in theaters this April. And now you're about to see the teaser for the trailer for the sequel to the Disney Plus original show based on the toy line for Dungeons and Dragons in theaters this April 2023. There's no Subway Surfers footage. I'm not playing. I'm not watching. What happened to your voice? You sound like 2018 NL. Okay, we're doing a new... You should be thankful. You're probably going to be a little annoyed, but you should be thankful. 60-second timeout, okay? We're here. It's been 10 years. What happened to your voice questions are now auto timeouts if I see them. I'm sorry. Now, they're not going to be auto 60 seconds. The next one's 600 and the next one's 6,000. I'm just so sick of hearing about it. Hey, I have no life. I was watching 100 Isaac videos in a row from 2013. What happened to your voice? Fucking, I don't know. What happened to your potential? I'll tell you what's going to happen is what happened to the last 100 people that asked the question. You're going to get timed out for 100 hours. Too far, too far. Shut up. Just watch the stream. You don't go to a comedy show. Oh, dude, I'm going to my favorite comedian. Sebastian Maniscalco is playing the local Long Island casino. And then as soon as he gets on stage, what happened to your suit? What are you wearing? Just shut up. Have two $9 Tom Collinses. Laugh, don't laugh, stay, leave, sub, whatever. You could take the time out and double it or give it to somebody else. Wait a minute, is this like the box? What if there was a box, and if you push the button inside of the box, you got 100,000 channel points, but one person got perma'd forever? How many times would you push it? I would hit it 1 million times. Yeah, now, when was the last time you changed your voicemail? 2013, probably. I don't want to give people the impression that I would ever open my voicemail. Like, if you leave me a voicemail, I want you to permanently be in limbo as to whether or not I received it. So I would never change it from, like, the person you are trying to reach is unavailable. Please leave a message after the beep. I'm definitely not going to make it like, you have now reached me. Leave your name and number. I'll get back to you as soon as I can, because that shit is like a lie. No, I won't. I will listen to every time I open my voicemail, I hope it's just 5 messages from another country trying to steal my identity and get me to pay them in Amazon gift cards. Every time I hear a robotic voice speaking another language and I check my voicemail, I'm like, oh, thank God. And anytime it's like another person, usually it's like, hey, we're just calling to try to remind you about, like, you have a renewal for this coming up. And then I go, okay. And then I just, like, walk into the business. On a Saturday or Sunday, I just walk in and I go, hey, I got a phone call that we needed to renew this. And they go, oh, okay. I checked mine and it was jury duty. What does that mean? Your voicemail said, sorry, I can't call you right now. I'm on jury duty. So at some point you were changing your voicemail like once a week. Oh, never mind. Okay. They called me to tell me I didn't show up for jury duty? That seems like their problem, not yours. Like, don't they have to send you a letter? I mean, you got to check your mail. Because if you don't check your mail, then you could, like, go to prison. It's possibly the only thing you need to check to stay out of prison. I threw out the letter. Well, like, it's a little based, but at the same time, you can't do that. I wish you could. But I bet for like a day that felt amazing. That must have felt incredible when you were like, I'm not going to do this shit. And there's probably like a 50% chance you don't face any consequences, but those odds are not that good. Welcome back. Say the line. The rumors of React Court's demise are, of course, greatly exaggerated. Am I the asshole for walking out of a restaurant on my GF? But I'll tell you, I don't believe that it is a picky eater restaurant question, which is new for us and a little foreign for me as a concept to deal with. But I'll do my best regardless. GF and I were having dinner at a restaurant when she got a text from her best friend who recently gave birth. And she said, OMG, she got a C-section. She works as a nurse, so she explained it to me, the type of incision they make for that and how it leaves a scar. I then, as a joke, said, at least she'll still be tight down there. Nope. All right. You are the asshole. Like, instantly. Why? Why would you say that? It's ridiculous. You can't stop things from popping into your head, although I would say it's almost a little bit sus that it popped into your head to begin with. But like, you definitely can stop yourself from saying it. That's where you could take responsibility. Why? It's just a joke. I had another great idea for a tweet this weekend, which is every group of guys has some MFer that says, I'm in the gallows humor. That's the end of the joke. But if I had to add like alt text to an image or something like that, it would be like every group of friends has one guy whose sense of humor is basically just being weird and then thinking that that's a personality. Anyway, like it's just a very strange thing to say. Let me put it this way. It's almost like there's an illusion in there. Like, at least she'll still be tight down there. But the double entendre, the euphemism is doing no work because he's basically saying, at least her pussy's not blown out. Like it's the subtlety that you're applying to the joke is like basically like a meat tenderizer. There's no subtlety whatsoever, but you're trying to be like a little cute with it. Like, look at how clever I am. And then on top of that, she just had a baby. Like, it's just a second thing to add to the situation that makes it like super inappropriate. Thirdly, you're at dinner with your spouse. Why are you talking about her friend's vagina? Like, that's just really weird. It's, you know, like all the rules of comedy are broken. A, it's not funny. B, you didn't read the room. C, it's like, if something's inappropriate but hilarious, then you're like, oh, it's amplified by the inappropriateness. Like, you shouldn't say that. But if something's like, this is more like Michael Scott. Like, they're in the boardroom and he's talking about stuff that is just over the line. So then I got really frustrated, got up and walked out of the restaurant and drove home. She called me several times. I drove both of us there. Come on, man. This is too much. You didn't leave her. You didn't walk out of the restaurant on your GF. You abandoned her there. She's got to get an Uber back. I was so frustrated. I just wanted to get home, so I turned my phone off. She showed up at our apartment 30 minutes later, was really pissed. At our apartment? You guys live together? Every single sentence has like another treasure to uncover. You could just, the human brain is not a perfect machine. You could just make honestly, here's how you play this off. At least, in my opinion, at least she'll still be tight down there. What a weird thing to say. You know what? You're right. I don't know why I said that. I'm sorry. Now, are you going to have a great dinner? No, it'll probably be like a little awkward, but you're the one who threw the nail bomb into the interaction to begin with. At least you'll like leave with only minor scarring. Instead, you escalated. I mean, I've been there. You say something and someone is like, why the hell would you say that? And you're like, actually, you're the idiot. You're the person that was wrong. And you just amplify it because like your pride is hurt or whatever. But I mean, to then like, I don't know what to tell you. To make the inappropriate joke is a forgivable sin. To double down on it is embarrassing. But then to just walk out, but also you drove her there and you live together is like, I mean, what are you doing? This is like how your enemies would behave to you, like in their head. Like I might imagine like, oh man, maybe imagine the look on her face if I just drove home right now. But you can't actually do that because you're not like 5 years old. You're not throwing like a temper tantrum. It's very much like an I think you should leave style situation where like a social faux pas is committed and then rather than walk it back, they just amplify it like over and over again. You're the asshole for the sexist comment about her friend's vagina and for your lack of understanding about basic biology. Wait, are you saying she won't still be tight down there? We're doing React Court.
I know. Any question about C-section?
You don't really want to know this one. This one, a guy's girlfriend, her friend got a C-section, and he said at least she'll still be tight down there.
Oh my god.
She just walked out.
Oh, I haven't walked out yet.
She's in the process of walking out as we speak. Right? When and where and what have these men been taught about a woman's genitals? He probably thinks pee comes out of the vagina, too. They always... I know that we go through this every time we do React Court. I bet he doesn't think pee comes out of the vagina. You're undermining your point by making him out to be like even stupider than he is. The thing that you should get from a post like this is not that this guy is dumb, is that everybody's dumb. I'm not saying this guy didn't do a very, very stupid thing. that might be representative of like a character flaw. But within every single person, there is this guy about different things. Now, if you look at something like this and you say, well, I'm glad that's not me, then it will be you one day. Is because you need the self-awareness to know that inside of you there's a little social demon that's like, I'd love to fuck this up for some reason. When you're sitting here, you're drinking an iced coffee, the metal straw's clinking on the glass, you're not hungry, you're not stressed out, you slept well. My rational take for this stranger is that this is what I would have done if I were in their situation. But when you're there and you're hungry and your joke doesn't go over well and you've got simmering resentment because she picked the restaurant for brunch and then you got there and she was like, I don't really like what's on the menu. And then, compound that over 6 months and then you're like, oh, and I guess I'll never talk again because I just made a joke that you didn't like. It's like within all of us, there is this situation. We're just smart enough to avoid it, 99.99% of the time. But there's a chance it could pop out. Being aware of this demon inside of you is in my opinion, the best protection. So the idea that like, oh, this guy's so stupid, this would never happen to me. Well, I would like to think that too, but I'm not sure if that's the case. You're the asshole, a huge misogynistic gross one at that, with a predilection to baby tantrums. I hope your GF dumps you. You made a shitty comment, got called out on it, then decided you didn't want to face up to your weird comment and left. You stranded her. It's all true, I suppose. A comment, by the way, that is entirely inaccurate and not funny in the slightest. P.S. Why would she be insecure about a sexist comment you made about her friend's vagina? Okay, that's fair enough. Is anyone going to tell me where the pee comes out? It comes out of the butt, right? In no world is that a normal joke. It's really weird to comment on the vagina of a woman you aren't sleeping with. For the love of all that is holy, a woman's body is not just for men's sexual pleasure. Listen, I think that he knows that. I think he's just stupid. Maybe I'm projecting a little bit. But I think if you asked him that, he would be like, of course not. But in the moment, he was like, I'm an entertainer. Like he made one comment. Let's not make him out to be irredeemable for the comment. The comment is just something stupid that he shouldn't have said. The character flaw is refusing to apologize and then doubling down even further. If you're uncomfortable, that's like, let's put some pressure on you to fix it. You can't just like ignore your problems and, I don't know, cruise down the highway. This friend just had major surgery. She had a 6-inch incision. Edit, they went between. Wait, you can do that? Betwixt? Her abdominal wall and cut her uterus and 5 other layers of tissue. I think my uncle had a smaller incision for his first kidney transplant. And your first comment is, at least she's still tight down there, not ouch, I hope she's okay, or hey, we should take her dinner when she gets... Oh, come on. Fucking Saint Mother Teresa. You ever see the video or the reaction image that's like, I don't care that a good thing happened to you. It should have happened to me instead. Like, I'm almost feeling like the inverse of that. Like, if Kate was like... Well, so a similar situation, not even close to the same level, but similar thematically... Kate's sister's family, they lost power when we had those blizzards or in the windstorms and stuff for like 3 days. They lived 3 hours away. When Kate was like, oh, they haven't had power for 3 days. I was like, oh, that must suck. Not for a second did it dawn on me that like, oh, we should like pack up our car with a bunch of food and drive across the border and go give them like some, I don't know, give them some C batteries or something so that they can use flashlights and I don't even know, give them like, borrow their phones and fully charge their phones for them or something like that. Instead, I was like, whoa, that sucks. I don't know how we would deal with that. And then the food came out and we went, this is pretty good. I'm not saying you shouldn't care about other people, but like the second you hear like, oh, someone had a C-section, you're like, stop everything. We need to immediately... Listen, we would have loved for that if somebody came over after Kate had her C-section and was like, here's a bunch of like home-cooked food. That would have been amazing. But, anybody who didn't do it, I'm not like, what an asshole. I'm like, you got your own shit going on. We made the baby. What do you expect? Oh, thank heavens for modern medicine that we can get healthy babies here, even if it means from a C-section. That will be your first comment? You're not invited to the damn barbecue. Hey, my wife's friend just had a C-section. Thank heavens for modern medicine that we can get healthy babies home, even if it means a C-section. That's a robot's comment. That's like a Chat GPT-3 Android comment. Like, that's why even be part of the conversation at that point. You know, like, the fun of a social engagement is not necessarily just whenever someone says something to you, thinking of the most socially respectable way to reply. You can have a little bit of fun with the conversation. You know, you don't have to get naughty with it, but you just don't have to be saying like ridiculous stuff. Like, yeah, everybody's thankful for modern, well, not everybody, but most people are thankful for modern medicine. Don't need to say that. You see, if I was at a situation and someone said to me, hey, my wife's friend just had a C-section, I would say, ooh, best of luck. My wife had a C-section too. I know what the recovery's like. I wouldn't say, thank you, Carolus Linnaeus, for inventing, I don't even know the medicine involved in the process. Every day I get down on my knees and I genuflect that in 1906, Dr. Jonas Salk invented the process known as the cesarean section. Were it not for that, so many complications would have, like, of course, I mean, this is one of those things, this sounds maybe ungrateful, but in a social situation, you should take it for granted. Wow, oh, these jalapeno poppers are amazing. Yeah, isn't it a wonder of modern agricultural practices that we're able to get deep-fried jalapeno peppers north of the 48th parallel in January? No, it's fucking just, oh, spicy. That's, like, learn to talk like a human being a little bit before you give advice about what this guy did wrong. Everybody knows he did it wrong, but you, like, don't get how to do it right. Or even make a joke about the movie Alien. What's the joke? Okay, so there's chest bursters in Alien, or Shaw gives herself a C-section with the auto doctor in Prometheus. Hey, a C-section, that reminds me of my favorite movie, Prometheus. It's just weird. Also, you can't just say or make a joke about. Like, what's the joke? George Carlin? Why, if it's so easy to do off the cuff, why don't you do it right now instead of just saying, just make a joke about it? An alien joke would have had me in stitches. LOL! Or ripping out my stitches. I can't remember if laughing hurt after my C-section. I do remember getting out of bed wrong one night. That sharp pain is burned in my memory. Okay, I mean, I believe that. Ridley Scott should put a... I'm not going to go there. You know how, like, in Aliens and Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection, they had, like, the chest burster? And then in, like, Alien Covenant, they had the back burster? Ridley Scott should, in the next Alien movie that he pretends is in an Alien movie, they should make an ass burster. Like, Danny McBride should be like, no, guys, no, I feel good. I feel... Ah! And then... Okay, it's going into the vents. Ow! Ow! My ass! My ass! Oh man! Doesn't that happen in Dreamcatcher? Doesn't one of the guys poop out an alien into the toilet and then he like closes the lid on it and he's trying to keep it from? What a shitty movie, man! Holy cow! It's Jason Lee. Oh, man. No, the alien shits him out, and he's trapped under the seat? That's a nightmare, man. I do hate that this guy is, like, he deserves a lot of heat, but he's getting so much heat for, like, the patriarchy. And I'm like, he's just one guy. He's probably, like, 24 years old or something like that. This guy didn't invent, you know, obstetrician surgical practices. He's a loser. Cut him some slack. They're like, you're the reason the husband stitch was invented. I'm like, what do you fucking mean? He was probably like negative 92 when that shit was invented. How could he be the reason? He's literally just an idiot. He's not the reason for the problems in society. If anything, the problems in society are the reason for him. Like, he's both a victim and the perpetrator of society's ills. I got a dog 2 years ago, Corgi, and she is very much so my sidekick. I've been with my fiance for 5 years. My fiance does like the dog, but she's currently pregnant and experiencing massive migraines. This has been snapping at everything. So every morning when I get up, I find my fiance already awakened at the table relaxing. As soon as I get out of bed, my dog goes nuts. It's like super energy where she's running sideways, barking up a storm, jumping from the bed to the floor a million times, causing the apartment to shake because it's old as fuck. You gotta move, man! When the dog jumps from the apartment, the floor to the bed, the whole house shakes. You living on stilts? You out in the Outer Banks? That's a corgi, man. My fiance has complained about it a few times, and I will absolutely try to tone it down for a while, but as fucked up as it sounds, the second she stops complaining, it's out of sight, out of mind. I start doing it again. I catch myself. I apologize immediately, but sometimes I don't even catch myself doing it. It's so good. Oh. But now she is complaining because I can sense her not in the bed anymore, probably after 20 minutes of her being gone and her warmth no longer there. Then I'm wide awake and the dog senses it, and so she's now getting pissed because she thinks I'm purposely not letting her have space and purposely annoying her with my behaviors. I'm not truly, but it seems like it, I guess. I've tried just laying in bed for a while so she can relax, but I get stir crazy, and I also don't feel like I should have to stay in bed so she can be alone when I live there too. But she flipped this morning. I felt her sneaking out of... What a bitch. Sneaking out of bed this morning at 5 a.m. Who does she think she is? Waking up early at her own discretion to get some alone time. Taking her warmth that I need subconsciously in order to be able to sleep. And I can't just wake up and look at my phone for a little bit because I go stir crazy. I immediately need to wake up and start singing made-up songs to my dog. I watched her sit at the table with her book. While the dog saw me awake and immediately goes ballistic, jumping on the bed, whining, barking. She comes in and says, "Will you guys calm down so I can have time to myself for once?" I just side-eyed her because I'm getting pissed at this point with her demands. She says, "Well," I tell her to get over herself. And just because she's pregnant doesn't mean I have to change who I am or Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, he actually believes that. Oh, no. Oh, sorry. Or change how the household works? Of course it's going to change how the household works, you fucking idiot. Are you crazy? I mean, like, you're going to be introducing a baby into this situation. I'm not saying it has to change in this specific way, but that's madness. Has anybody in history ever said, yeah, we're having a baby, but that's not going to change anything? Obviously, it's going to change something. You're living with a fucking baby. Are you crazy? It's like the most wrong thing you could say there. Like, it's just factually nonsensical. She immediately left after telling me to go fuck myself and won't answer my calls. She's been gone for 6 hours. Am I the asshole? Yeah, but like... I mean, like, you gotta give her some alone time. It's so easy, I guess, to just be like, she's carrying your child. She's got a hormonal cocktail that's like a roulette table every damn day. Some days it's like she's never loved you more. Some days she's like, get out of my face. The smell of you makes me want to throw up. Okay. So she's going through a lot, but also there's like just a level of like human, I don't want to say decency, but maybe this is the right word. It's like, assuming this post is real, which I hate to say that I actually believe that it is, she's doing everything that she can do to get some alone time. You got to get the fuck out of the house, like, a little bit. Even if you don't want to, like, you got to, because there's no other option. She's going to go crazy. Just in general, you shouldn't have, until you have the kid, you shouldn't be waking up at 5 a.m. to have some solo time. Like, that's, to have gone to that measure to begin with is crazy. The fact that she did that rather than tell you to fuck off earlier, like, makes her a bit of a saint, honestly. I don't want to say, like, why do you hate your fiance so much? But it's just like, I don't know. I just, like, can you do anything? It's like you've literally tried nothing. Like, You're like, here's the, okay, I know you could say I could just like lay in bed for an hour and that would be relaxing, but I get bored. Okay, so fucking like be bored. Look at your phone or something. I don't know. Or like train yourself to go back to sleep. It might take you a couple of days, but do it. Like, it's like, I know, hey, my fiance is telling me like she's going to leave me if I don't make any effort to change my behavior, but it's tricky. It's like, I can understand why like she's extremely upset. I just hate when any post is like, you know, the post is like, am I the asshole for being hungry? And then the top comment is like, info. Why won't you eat? And then the post is like, I don't feel like it. You know? Oh, you think I haven't thought of that? I'll have you know, I have food in the house, but none of it is really exactly what I want right now. Like that's, I know you're saying, why can't I just sleep a little longer? I get a little stir crazy. Like, I know this is the most annoying thing to hear, but like, can't you just close your eyes? Like, ask it right now. It's what? It's 10:07 a.m. If you said close your eyes for an hour and lay down, my ass would be like, no, officer, are you crazy? But at 5 a.m., if I woke up a little bit and then someone was like, close your eyes for an hour, I'd be like, see you in an hour. See you in 59 minutes. That's the easiest time to go back to sleep. It's right when you're supposed to be waking up. But I still think you should just wake up at 6 a.m. and take the dog for a walk. Also, like, no disrespect, but you guys are, like, fucked. Adding a baby into this dynamic. You got to fix this shit, like, ASAP. Because the first 3 months of having that baby, you were going to go ape shit. Like, because it's everything you've got now, but on, like, ultra hard permadeath mode. It's not, like, that hard to raise a baby, I think. It's just like, it's constant work, but it's not like at any point they're like, quick, answer like a skill testing question. You know, you just got to be like on it and accept that you're going to be tired for a while. But like, you're already fucked and you haven't even hit start game yet. Like, try this situation, but also she's recovering from the pregnancy and she's nursing up to 12 times per day, including like 4 to 5 times overnight. Let's see how much you miss her warmth when her ass is breastfeeding at 11:30, 1, 1:40, 4, 5:20, 5:37, 6:10, 7, and 7:03, and then the baby's waking up. Let's see how you feel about it then. And you're in bed like, oh, I had a really rough night. I can't really sleep that well when you're breastfeeding our baby. You're the asshole. This mindset is how women get branded as nags. What? I don't know. What does it have to do with anything? He's literally just a guy. I mean, I went off on him, but he's just a guy. He didn't call his wife a nag. He just told her to get over herself. Which is probably like in the same ballpark. You think this morning routine is going to be helpful once the baby's born? You're loud every single morning and not caring about the physical distress of a person growing a new human in her body. A new human that I'll assume is also... Why would you write it like that? You fucking dick. That I assume is also yours. But you seem like a bad guy, so she probably cheated on you and let the other guy finish inside of her. You don't know anything about their situation. Like, that's just rude at this point, okay? Like, I get the little devil on your shoulder wants to get the own in there. But it says more about you than it does about OP in this situation, that's where your head jumps to. You're the asshole. Your noise is literally causing your fiance. Okay, but you're the asshole because you put the accent aigu on fiance. That makes, unless you're from Quebec or France, that makes you the asshole in this situation. I'm sorry. Yeah, also, it's supposed to have a second E. You lost your E. Where's your E with an accent circumflex? Nobody's even addressed how incredibly rude this is to not only the GF, but also his neighbors. Well, you know, listen. They knew what they signed up for when they moved into an apartment where a single dog jumping up and down causes the whole building to shake. You're in for... If this is real, you're in for a rude awakening. I'm telling you, man. Because it's going to get a lot harder. When I stay at my parents' place, it's crazy. I'm a one pillow guy. And if you're two, no problem. Okay? I think that's well within the spectrum of normalcy. My parents' house, they do like a body pillow, but it's like horizontal over near the headboard. And then they stack 2 pillows on top of each side of the body pillow. So now already I'd be sleeping with my neck at like a 170-degree angle or something. And then they throw like some HomeSense like decorative pillows in front of those pillows, and then the cylindrical pillow that's like it goes, I think, on your lumbar or something like that. It's just too much. So the first thing you do is you strip the body pillow, you throw it on the floor because there's no place for it because all the chairs have pillows on them too. And then you take 2 of the pillows and you throw them so you got 1 pillow on each side. And then you throw the cylinder, you roll it under the bed or something like that. It's just too much. 5 pillows minimum? You're crazy, man. I'm a 1 pillow guy. It seems perfect. I mean, I only have 1 head. 2 is for sitting up. Well, this is what we got chairs for. We got chairs, sofas, bar stools, beds, toilets. Like, there's too much shit to sit on. Is 0 pillows psycho mode? Well, it's a little crazy, but like my kid doesn't sleep with a pillow. We have it in the crib, but she's just laying flat. Have you ever slept in 0G? What the hell are you asking me if I've ever been to outer space? For like a long enough to actually sleep? What kind of question is that? It's crazy. Have I ever slept on the Superman Man of Steel roller coaster in a 0G position? What does that mean? What does that mean? 0G position? Just answer the question. I don't know what it means. 1 pillow's the same vibe as no mattress cover. I assure you is not. I mean, no mattress cover is degenerate. College style, like mattress on the floor, no mattress cover. That shit is disgusting. Now, I did it for like 3 years, but that's gross. There's not like 1 pillow is not like, oh, I'm too lazy to get more pillows. I'm like, this shit is like the height of comfort for me. 3 pillows, side sleeper. 1 for my head, 1 to put between my knees, and 1 to hold on to. Listen, that's you do you, okay? I guess I'm more of a low maintenance sleeper than I thought. If I have 1, and I'll tell you another thing, this will blow your mind. We also just run 1 duvet. We got so it's box spring, the bed frame, mattress, top sheet on the mattress, like a fitted sheet, duvet with the duvet cover on top of it. 1 pillow for me, 1 pillow for Kate. That's it. It's nice. No sheet. Okay, you got to be careful. When you say no sheets, that's like a stripped mattress. We have no sheet in the sense that we don't have like 1 thin little blanket that you get under, and then you go, oh, that's not nearly enough warmth, and then you put the duvet on top, and you go, oh, that's too warm, and then you just sort of like leave 1 toe outside. Ooh, but I can't. What if a monster eats my foot? Pull it back in. Just 1 duvet. We're low maintenance. I think the sheet is probably the most overrated of all the blankets, in my opinion. The duvet is a must-have. Anyway, yeah, am I the asshole for calling my brother and sister-in-law rude guests for removing the decorative pillows my wife put in the guest room? Right here. My brother and sister-in-law moved in temporarily. They're staying in the guest room, as is appropriate. So far, we've been on the same page concerning all things except the decorative pillows. Let me stop you right there. Then you're on the same page with respect to everything. Assuming that you're going to agree with everybody on absolutely everything is a fool's gamble. What you do is you have a copacetic living arrangement. When they go home, they're going to be like, and oh my God, all these fucking pillows. What were they thinking with all those pillows? And then when they go home, you're going to be like, and I can't believe, like, it was a little much for them to just throw those nice pillows on the ground, right? Like, when you're together, it's 99.999% copacetic, And then when you leave, you talk a little bit of smack about that one thing. And then that's the release valve that then allows you to get together and have fun later. In my opinion, at least. My wife loves adding decorative pillows on beds, and she did the same in the guest bedroom. She did it to make the room look better, and also it's her preference. She came to me complaining about seeing the decorative pillows in the guest room being put on the floor and not being put on the bed during the day. I went to, no, I'm sorry, I'm not reading this. It's just not worth it. It's not worth the time, quite frankly. Too boring, probably made up. Nobody cares. If my diagnosis is you have to get a life. Who cares? You care more about your pillows than you do about another human being that's a part of your family. Oh, no. Am I the asshole for forgetting to lock the door a few times a month? Am I the asshole for leaving the stove on when I leave the house now and then? Like, they're saying, like, fucked up shit. Like, oh, you could have, like, burned down our whole fucking house with us inside of it. But, like, I didn't do that. I just left the stove on. I feel like I'm being unnecessarily maligned here. Hi, Reddit. Boy, I was hoping to never have an issue to put here. But I really need some perspective on this one. I come from a family that only sometimes locked our doors, so it was never really ingrained in me to keep the door locked at all times. My wife, on the other hand, came from a family where the norm was to lock everything, get a camera. So it's always a value judgment, isn't it? It's always like, I don't need to do that, because that would mean that I am expressing a precaution. And expressing a precaution means that I'm afraid. And I vowed never to be afraid of anything, even of shit that's scary and can be mitigated by just going, click. I'm not living my life in fear. I just choose not to be afraid of the other stuff that other people get out in front of with a modicum of... I don't know. You get the idea. They're paranoid, though. My ass when I'm paranoid. That's me locking the door. And hold on, I forgot it. Listen, I don't want to be disingenuous. I forgot about this part. Tuck, tuck. That's where you check the handle to make sure you actually locked it. Since then, I've done my best to keep up with locking the doors. We have since moved to a great apartment in a very safe neighborhood, and although I'm a forgetful person, I have been remembering I lock our door 8 to 9 times out of 10. Still working on it, though. It immediately seems like you're not really working on it. It seems like you want it to be fixed, but you don't want to, because you didn't buy into the mission statement, which is that it's just a good thing to lock your door. So that, like, if you get robbed, you're like, at least I did what I could. Like, if I didn't lock my door, and then maybe it's not, like, legally fair to say this. If I left my house, didn't lock my door, and came back and all my shit was gone, I would be like, yeah, my fault. At least in some way, that's my fault. What was I expecting? If I locked it and I came back and all my shit was stolen, I'd be like, I am a victim of a crime. I have been targeted by a cat burglar. I have been burgled. There is a heist here. If I didn't lock my door, I'd be like, well, if I really liked that TV, I would have taken the extra second. I'm not saying it means you should be robbed. I'm simply saying that it's like, you could have done more to stop it. You could have done literally the bare minimum. Is victim blaming? Giga chat, yes. Like, sometimes the victim needs a little bit of the blame. Not in all situations, but the idea that you should never pass any blame to a victim is crazy. If my ass gets, like, insanely drunk and then goes driving and crashes into, like, a telephone pole and dies, I'll be like, well, maybe you shouldn't have been drunk driving. Can't blame the victim. Who put the telephone pole there? They should make telephone poles that have a breakable bottom and then a sturdy top, so that in this situation, you aren't the victim in that situation? I'd be dead! The telephone pole was the victim? All the people who lose internet access as a result. The point is, he hasn't been robbed yet. I don't understand. I know we go through this once a month. Why do people not lock their doors? When, like, they spend so much time justifying not doing a task that takes less than 1 second, and they say insane stuff like it adds up. It literally doesn't. They're pennies. They're gone. They're gone. You can't. It takes more time to aggregate the time saved than it does to do the thing that would cost you the time in the first place. It's like saying, you know, I never put on my seatbelt when I drive my car because it takes 2 seconds to click it into the latch. Like, and you know what? Don't even start with me. What is it with taxis when you get in them? Why is the latch always the wrong way? You're always trying to put the seatbelt into the latch and you're like, it's not going in right. Then you got to reach in between the damn seat cushions, pull it out, flip it 180, and it doesn't make any damn sense. Anyway, I just forget. That's fine. Like, if you forget to do something, I can't be like that mad at you. It's more like if you forget to do it and then I'm like, can you please lock the door? And you're like, well, I don't live my life in fear. I'd be like, well, okay, then fucking, I don't know, go jump off a bridge or something then, brave guy. Why are you only brave when it comes to being lazy? Why is it never like, I'm brave, I'm going to go out and be like a volunteer firefighter because I'm not afraid of danger? It's always some shit that's like, I'm not going to look at the new food pyramid because everything kills you anyway. Nom, 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 nom. It's always like to justify a behavior that you already enjoy instead of to justify actually doing something noble. Like the Canadian, I don't know, it was a university. They did like a meta study of the harmful effects of alcohol. And they said no amount of alcohol in any quantity is safe. If you want to be as safe as possible, a maximum of 2 drinks a week. People who have never even left their hometown were like, 2 drinks? Come on, science. Could you have at least made it something that was reasonable? And you're like, that's the science, man. I don't know what to tell you. Like, it's not like they were like, we hate people who drink. Let's make this number really small. Instead, they were like, you know, here's the number, and people were like, yeah. And then in 1971, you told me eggs were bad for me. And then in 1978, you told me eggs are good for me. So, like, you think I'm going to believe that? You can, like, know it's poison and still drink it anyway. You could look at that news and say, like, damn, that sucks. And then, like, modify your behavior or not modify your behavior. You don't have to be like, oh, the scientists are wrong. What do you know about science, moron? They did the fucking work. You're just like, that doesn't sound right to me because it's uncomfortable to hear. Since then, I've done my best to keep up with locking the doors, and I succeed 85% of the time. Unfortunately, my wife's anxiety about our safety has just been getting worse. She says she has night terrors and can't handle worrying if the door is locked. It's awful she feels this way, and I want to help her out. But the thing is, it's hard to remember sometimes. It's awful she feels this way. I want to help her out. I'm just struggling to see and understand why this situation is provoking such an emotional response. I'm struggling to see why your ass is so annoyed that she's annoyed that you can't lock the door. Like, she's got night terrors. All your ass has to do is go like this. Katuk. Can't you just set like an alarm or, I don't know, just not be looking at your phone when you leave your house for 2 seconds so you can lock the door? Like, that's how you build a habit. Put like a post-it note next to the door or something. Extra info. My wife and I live in a newly developed gated community on the 3rd floor of our apartment building in the very back. 0 crimes since we've lived here. I take the dogs out every night, so I'm the one locking the door. We have a new puppy that needs to go out every 4 hours. And it's the 4 a.m. walks when I am most likely to forget to lock the door. Listen, I'm not going to do the thing that you're doing, which is basically being like, crime doesn't exist because you're fucking stupid. Like, that's just wrong. You probably are less likely to be a victim of like a home invasion on the 3rd floor of an apartment building in a gated community. That makes perfect sense to me. That doesn't mean that somebody can't, you know, on your floor, can't have like a psychotic episode and go around checking all the doors, find one that's open and come into your house and fucking kill you. Like, that shit, people are going crazy in their apartments all the time. They don't have the threat, the danger could be coming from within the house. So regardless, like, you know, we've lived in situations like this, not in gated communities, but either way, my ass would not sleep as well if the door was not locked. Yeah, someone could break into the building and then, like, listen, these are like infinitesimal risks. Don't get me wrong. Someone could hold the door open for someone in your building that doesn't actually live there. They could get in the elevator and just start cranking on doors, okay? It's crazy. Like, Now, you might be saying the risk of that is insanely low. That's true. But the cost to protect yourself at least a little bit is even lower. Is literally just going like this. Katunk. That's it. Also, like, why don't you just lock the damn door because she asked you to? Because, you know, you got to save some of your energy for some battles that actually matter. My wife has a certain way she likes me to load the stuff into the dishwasher. And listen, I'm not trying to make this a plebiscite on the issue. I always loaded the dishwasher, like when you load the cutlery, you put the tip of the knife down into the dishwasher so that when you open it up, you don't accidentally like put your hand on it and like slice your palm open, okay? The forks go down, the spoons go down, etc., etc. We started living together. She told me, no, that's not the right way. The tips go up, the tip of the spoon goes up, etc., etc. I said, I don't think that's true. She said, I think it is. I said, you know what, you're right. And it's been a solved issue ever since. Because it doesn't matter at all. Doesn't matter in the slightest. And so we're getting a lot of she's right, she's wrong. Hey, I do it no matter what, I win. Because I do it the way she told me to. I'm just saying, if it's a relatively simple thing and you're not married to the concept, you should put your spouse's interest ahead of yours if she is married to the concept. Like, if my wife was like, hey, can you lock the door? I have night terrors, and I was like, I don't really feel like it, I would think that that would make me the asshole. At the same boat, if I was like, you know, if I really needed something done a certain way, and she was like, that's not the way I do it, I'd be like, well, it gives me anxiety to see it done this way. I think she would be like, okay. In her head, she might be like, this is the stupidest shit I've ever heard in my life, but that's the price you pay. When has that happened? Well, I'm still waiting for the first time. Am I the asshole for calling my girlfriend cheap? Not necessarily. I mean, I would take it as a compliment. She never wants to eat out, like, at all. I usually eat out 2 to 3 times a week, but it's hard to get her to eat out even once a month. She always says she can make the same thing for cheaper and will only eat out after some pleading from me. She doesn't tip very high either, only 15% usually. This is bait, right? If you want to get Reddit upset, you just bring up tipping. Either way, 15% is like the worst number you could bring up, because half of people are like, you should leave 0, and half of people are like, 15%? What, did they spit on your plate? These are not necessarily like crazy behaviors. Like, it's not like she's hanging up her tea bags on the clothesline to reuse them or something like that. It's like, it's just fairly reasonable, like, cost savings to make without impacting your quality of life very much. Like, that's not that crazy. She won't ever buy coffee, and even brings her own coffee maker kit rather than buy coffee for road trips. And she won't buy bread or oat milk. She insists to make it to save money, even though it takes so long. She only buys things on sale, blah, blah, blah. She refused to buy things in IKEA. Okay, now that's crazy, because IKEA is, like, really cheap. That's, like, one of the cheapest furniture stores you could go to. I'm starting to see his point, honestly. Not as cheap as other places. It's pretty cheap, though. It's super expensive. It's, like, super not, though. My bookshelf was, like, $60. It's a piece of garbage. Like, you would never... you would never be like, whoa, check out this bookcase. You won't believe where I got it. You're like, you know, it's more like, that's where my books go. But it's pretty cheap. IKEA is expensive? Is this like a regional thing? Our last bed, not the bed we use now, we bought a bed from IKEA. It was a double bed. It cost $200. That's something you literally use for like a third of your life. It costs half of what like a PS4 cost at the time. I've seen tables for $2,000 in IKEA. Yeah, but you've probably also seen tables for like $70, and they'll tell you which one they're moving more of. IKEA prices have gone up 30% thanks to lumber. Lumber round trip, motherfucker! You think I don't listen to Odd Lots with Joe Weisenthal and Tracy Alloway? Try serving me, so, oh, this costs more because of the lumber. The lumber went up, and it came right back down. Because of the lumber. Good for the tuna. Anyway, this person is just crazy. Now, I will say, and like I've annoyed a certain subset of people. I'm going to annoy the other subset of people. I do also get annoyed when people treat never spending money as like that person is like more moral. Shit drives me crazy because, I mean, on the internet, at least, you know, when you got the spotlight on you like I do, sometimes you're like, I went out for a sandwich yesterday. And then people are like, go out for a sandwich. Wow, must be nice to be, you know, the price you paid for that sandwich, I could have bought 2 loaves of bread and boar's head cold cuts and cheese and had sandwiches for a week. And then someone else is like, oh, bread from the supermarket. Must be nice to be in the upper middle class. I could have bought 4 kilograms of baking flour and used that to make 17 loaves of bread at my own house and then stolen a chicken from a farm and use that to make an egg every single day, and I could have eaten sandwiches for 3 weeks. Like the idea that spending money is always immoral and then like saving money is always moral. I think that there's some kind of like conditioning there that has led society down what I would consider a path that is not necessarily accurate. Because I deal with it with my parents. Like, anytime my parents come out for dinner with us, my dad will say something like, holy cow, like $26 for spaghetti? And I'm like, I know you can make it at home for like, listen, they always say crazy stuff too. Like, I could make it at home just as good for half the price. And I'm like, no, you can't. You could probably make it pretty good, but there's like $8 worth of butter. You'd never do that to yourself. You care about your cardiac health. You can make good spaghetti. You're not making it this good. I'm sorry. They're making the spaghetti 20 times an hour. They know what they're doing, okay? I've had your spaghetti. I've had their spaghetti. Their spaghetti wins out. You can't compete with the pros. Because nobody looks at like, they don't get arthroscopic surgery and go like, wow, I could probably do this for $4.50, you know? But then the chefs, they're always like, people always look at it exclusively in terms of ingredient costs. They don't consider it like an art. Like if you go to Subway and you're like, I could make this sandwich cheaper, you're like, yeah, no shit. It's just like literally all they're doing is doing what you tell them. Of course, you get it for convenience. But if you go to like a real restaurant and you're like, I could get this shit cheaper, okay, then fucking go to Le Cordon Bleu Institute of Culinary Education. Go to the American Culinary Institute. But fucking waste your 20s going to the restaurant at 7 a.m., leaving the restaurant at midnight, smoking 400 cigarettes a day to learn how to make a beurre blanc. It's just insulting to say you can make this cheaper at home. Anyway, all I'm saying is it's not immoral to spend money and it's not moral to save money. It depends on your lifestyle. It depends on what you value. I don't know if I could even read this one. Am I the asshole for not helping my girlfriend when she sprained her ankle? Throwaway account, not using real names, but my Fred, 34 male GF, will call her Maranda, 33 female. In my opinion, overreacts to pain. She stubs her toe a lot and is always saying how it hurts. She doesn't ask for help when it happens. It just annoys because she stubbed her toe, dummy. What's she gonna do? You're gonna fix it? You're gonna cast like a magical spell? It always annoys me because she's clumsy and could just watch where she's going. Anyway, we were outside one night. I have this makeshift step that's pretty flimsy. It's a piece of firewood that's there until I can get something better. This is a classic, like, men will actually live like this and think it's okay post. I got a makeshift step. It's just a piece of firewood or whatever. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen. It's a jigsaw trap. It's a suicide rap. You gotta get out while we're young. Okay, hold on. Miranda used it and rolled, and it caused her ankle to sprain. She fell to the ground and said it really hurt, and it looked like she was about to cry. I told her she'd be fine, even when she crawled past me this is fake. Even when she crawled past me to get inside, I did not help because I felt like she was over-exaggerating the pain. Well, the next day I really looked at it, and I do admit, it's bad. She can't put any pressure on it. She told me it was really mean that I didn't believe her or help her in the moment, and she left to go to her parents' house. Hasn't been back since, saying she needs time to think. Now her parents are mad at me and our friends and also think that I'm the asshole, but I don't see it that way. My sister told me to post here and see what others would say. So Reddit, am I the asshole? You know that John Holmes, it's John Waters, not John Holmes. Quote that's like, ladies, if you go to a man's house and he doesn't have books, don't burp him. I feel like this is the same thing, but it should be, ladies, if you go to a man's house and his front steps are made of makeshift firewood that's not even like secured in place, run! Like, you know, Samantha Morton at near the end of Minority Report. Hello, Daniel. Hello, Daniel. Only dads? What do you think? By the way, do you think you'd be the asshole if your wife sprained her ankle on your horrendous homemade front step made of firewood, and then you said, oh, quit complaining, and she had to crawl past you to get into the house? You think that would make you the asshole? I don't want to be too controversial. I'd say that probably reflects a little poorly on the man's character. Am I the asshole for stopping my husband from traveling? It's been a very pro-wife stream so far. We've had a lot of Am I the Asshole sections that were like, women be shopping. Today, the men have been in the wrong, like almost exclusively. It's a much more comfortable place to be as a streamer than being like, well, I get that she's pregnant, but at the same time, did she have to call the cops? It's just like, I think he's in the wrong, but did she have to call the police? Just easier to be like, wow, this dude's an idiot, lol. Thanks for the gifted subscriptions. And I love it. I think it's a bit of a red flag when you tell your husband you're pregnant and he says, I still want to travel. That's not what you want to hear as like the first thing to come out of that discussion, I think. Also, like, it's a little parent posting, okay? But like, it's naive to think that, oh, we can still travel because my parents can watch the baby. Like, what are you going to do? The first year is like fucked up. I'm not saying like that it is good that there's someone to watch the baby. What I'm trying to say instead is you need to be there for the baby. Like, literally, you're like nursing or pumping or bonding or like, you know, so on and so forth. You can't just be like, you know, bye. We're going to Cabo San Lucas. You know, like, you can't really just put it in with the babysitter. Like, when you're older or when the baby's older, if your kid's like, you know, 12, leave the kid with the grandkids over 1 month of summer vacation and go travel or something. They'll be fine. I know, it's less like, oh, we can't travel because of the kid. It's much more like, oh, I don't want to travel because I would be like a piece of... Like, I don't think going away now and then makes you like a bad parent. But if you're like, oh, I gotta... This fucking kid's eating into my travel time, then I think it makes you like a bad parent. You got to be there for your child on top of, you know, doing the things that need to be done. You need to like build the familial bond. The kid needs you. They don't have any choice in the matter. Like, you gotta make the decision for both of you. Anyway, fast forward to now. Our baby's 8 months old. My husband's an incredible father. He hasn't been anywhere since the baby was born, but he did occasionally talk about where to go next to travel. I honestly thought at this point he should just stay home and be a father because he's a parent now. He shouldn't be gone even for a day away from our baby. I told him this. He got a bit upset. He wanted to think things through and so asked for a little mental space not to talk about the subject. But then literally the next day, his college friend contacted him and invited him to a wedding in Taiwan. He told me this and said his friend was the one who helped him go through a lot in his college years and at least give him 4 or 5 days to visit there. I still said no because things changed. My husband explained and said that I broke the promise I made when I was pregnant. Okay. Things change, brother. I actually think he's in the right, but I don't know let me know how that works out for you. He kept telling me to give the baby to my parents to watch. I said we wouldn't be responsible parents if we did that. He kept claiming it's responsible because we know the baby will be safe, but I kept arguing that it doesn't work that way. I can take him to court if he wants to abandon the baby. He broke his game system out of anger. Sorry, I need to scroll. He broke his game system out of anger and has gotten silent afterwards. He only communicated about baby-related things, but wouldn't talk to me about anything else. Am I the asshole? Bro, this chick made him break his PS5. Are you serious right now? There's a supply chain crunch. No. Don't do me or the PS5. I think she should just eat this one. I'm sorry to say. I do think it's a little early. Like, in the first 8 months to be like, I would like to leave for 5 days. That seems kind of crazy to me. But like a 4 to 5 day trip to go to your friend's wedding, that seems fair to me as someone who just went through 6 days of it with a child when the daycare was closed, and also I had norovirus. Like, I lived. I didn't almost die. I said I lived. There's two different things. No, that's what I'm saying. I think she crossed the line. Like, he's like, I'm going to go to my friend's wedding for 4 days. She said no. He said, I'd really like to. She said, I could take you to court for it, which I don't even think is true. Like, no disrespect. I'm not trying to call your bluff and make you feel bad. But if you can't do 4 days of, like, solo baby care, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. If you can't do 4 days of solo baby care, you're not going to contact a lawyer, drag this guy to court for what? Because he went on a vacation for 4 days? I mean, like, it's just not reasonable. That's way more work. That's like, oh, if you leave me this much work, then I'm going to do 3 times as much work as that over the course. I'm going to sustain this grudge for the 18 months it takes to get this in front of a judge. Like, that's just unlikely to happen, I would say. I don't think he's the asshole. I think she's, well, I don't know. He shouldn't have broken his console. There's kids out there that would love to have that, man. Well, wait, was it? Yeah, if it was like a Wii U, then I guess I would allow it. But at the same time, I can also understand, like, your baby's only 8 months old as your first kid. To be like, you know, I'd like to go to Taiwan. I feel like if I brought that up to Kate in May 2021, she would have laughed in my face. And I would have been like, just kidding. Unless you're going to do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. In lockdown? I don't know. Fucking, are we still in lockdown? I never know these days. No, kind of. I don't know. We're fine now. I don't know, when we went to San Diego, they were like, if you fly from a Canadian airport and land in the United States and you're not fully vaccinated, you have to sign like an affidavit that says you're going to quarantine for 2 weeks, which is like, first off, was not for me. It was for my child, who at the time had only had the 1 dose that was offered to them. But they need 2 doses in order to be considered fully fucking vaccinated. And I was also like, excuse me, can you give me President Joe fucking Biden on the phone? He's a dude who did a press release that said, we beat COVID. Meanwhile, his ass is like, oh, don't let in the Canadians. Hey, the Canadians have to self-isolate if they come to fucking Florida. I know San Diego's in California. I wanted to pick a state that made my point better. I'm sorry. But like, fucking look in the mirror, idiot. They're like, only domestic COVID is okay, all right? We don't want any Canadian COVID here. And then it was worse because we were like calling the airlines. Like, hey, this is Alaska Air. And I'd be like, hey, so I just read online that according to the CDC, there's like a binding resolution that if you fly from Canada into the United States, we have to sign an affidavit that we're going to stay in our hotel room for 2 weeks to quarantine. Is that true? And then they would go, no, we don't have anything like that. And I'd go, well, according to the CDC.gov, we could go to prison if we make a false statement under oath and then go out and get some coffee. And they were like, yeah, I don't really know about it. We don't really care about that anymore. We don't have any restrictions. And I was like, okay, well, thanks for your help. Hold on, I'm just trying to see. You're the asshole. Okay, I don't know. It seems like they're kind of being ruder to her than I would feel comfortable being. She's going through a lot right now. At the same time, she did make him break his PS5. I'm picking on this one because this post basically says, am I the asshole for hating my wife? But then they're not the asshole. So I gotta know. Am I the asshole for following my wife's request at letting her fail and a problem bite her in the ass? I try and protect her from harsh realities or things that will turn out badly. Sometimes they're big things, sometimes they're little things. Slow down, you're going too fast. No, I'm not. I drive here all the time. Stop telling me what to do. Speed trap, speeding ticket in the mail. Owned. Thank you for your service, officer. Giving my wife a speeding ticket, winning me the argument. Don't buy that drink. You won't like it. I'ma buy it. Gross, it's pineapple. I hate pineapple. There goes $20 kind of things. I'm gonna buy it. It's so good. Oh, man. She pays the utilities for the house. She left out a lot of lights on, including the tree, around the clock. I do what I can to negate it, but never said anything. I didn't purposely run around and burn electricity to prove a point. I just didn't fuss about it. When lights, TV are on in a room and no one was in all the time, I'd simply turn things off and not say anything. She just got the bill and is flabbergasted at how expensive it was. I told her I wasn't surprised because of all the electricity we used in December. Now she's mad at me for not being sympathetic of the bill she has to pay. Am I the asshole for letting this happen and not being sympathetic? Oh, he wrote it twice. Okay. Sorry if it comes across as condescending. It's not my intention. The bill wasn't exponentially higher. It's just like $80 higher. I generally pay around 80. See, this is what it's like to be a man when you make an Am I the Asshole post. Immediately, if the roles were reversed, people would be like, let him, he needs to learn that he's not mommy's special boy. Let him suffer the consequences of his actions. I guarantee the reason he's making this one is someone probably posted info. How exactly, give me an itemized double line ledger breakdown of the bills in your house. Because if she's paying the utilities, it sounds like that you're probably a bad husband and think that she should pay for everything. Now he's got to come in here and justify himself. I pay 85% of the bills. She chose what she was able to afford and handle as she insisted she help out with the bills. Utilities are her responsibility by her choosing. I didn't just assign them to her. It's not a punishment for her behavior. It's her first time paying actual bills besides her car. There's no parental child kink here, just a difference in personalities. You don't need to you're not beholden to respond to every insane person that talks to you. You're a smart enough guy to look at the message that would suggest that and just go block. Like, that's someone asked. You're as the OP, you are the satellite dish that collects, and I say this as a streamer, I see more insanity than you. I'm sorry, I know you see crazy stuff on Twitter, but like, just by virtue of the fact that thousands of people interface with this, I become like a conduit for collecting insanity. Now, I let some of that insanity go out into the signal, and it always feels good at the time and regrettable later, but I'm just fucking absorbing like 99% of it, like, ah! And that's my responsibility. When you're the OP, it's that in a microcosm. People can type anything they want. You don't have to respond to it just because they asked. You could say, hey, loser, get out of my thread. Sometimes you're going to feel the need, because when someone says something truly crazy, that's really easy to refute, it feels great to be like, first off, you're crazy. Secondly, it doesn't even make any sense. Am I crazy for saying who cares is $80? Like, at first I was wondering what, like how expensive electricity is. Because like our electricity plus water bill is like the same price year round. It's like the heat and the air conditioning cost the same amount, I guess. Maybe it's a little cheaper in the fall, a little cheaper in the spring. But it's like it's about $120 a month. I will say when we lived in a shithole in college, our utility bill was like, in a 7-bedroom house, it was like $100 per month per person in the winter to heat it. Probably because the insulation was put in the house in like 1931 or something like that. The shit was leaky as hell. The landlords don't care. They're just charging you like $600 a month rent per room times 7 people for like a house that should probably be condemned. Corn in the walls. That got me laughing. Corn in the walls. Corn in the walls. Corn in the walls. This just doesn't seem like that big of a. It doesn't seem like that big of a deal. It seems like you hate your wife or your girlfriend. Does she really talk like that? Does she really say I'ma buy it? Or is that just something you wanted to make her appear stupid? To make your point stronger, so you wrote it in all caps. I'ma buy it. Gross, it's pineapple. I hate pineapple. There goes $20. What drink was she buying? Pineapple juice for $20? She's shopping at Whole Foods. She's like as dumb as I am. Not the asshole. She wanted to fuck around, and she found out. Me when the electricity bill is $80 higher than it normally is. Fuck around, find out. Well, just the most overused reaction image of 2022 and 2023 so far is the guy with the whiteboard. Hold on, we could do it. It's mirrored. I can't. Me when I'm like, I haven't eaten in 6 hours and I'm hungry. 1,000 people replying with fuck around, find out reaction image gif. Yay! No, not the asshole. He fucked around and found out. Not the asshole. Well, I don't think that he's the asshole. I'm mostly just like, I don't know. Why are people so giddy taking pleasure in this? Also, can I tell you another overused phrase? And normally I'm not hip with the culture, but I respect it. When people say no cap, when people drop the gritty, when people do stuff like that, I say it's kids being kids. I don't get annoyed. I don't get annoyed at the younger generation. You know what has been annoying me a lot? People tweeting insane shit like eating lunch right now and then putting hashtag IYKYK. If you know, you know. If I know, you're not that interesting. Yes, I know about lunch. Do I know about lunch? I don't know. Eating lunch right now. If you know, you know. I hate that shit. I'm getting real busy replying to emails. If you know, you know. I don't know what do you, that you're supposed to tell me? That's the first step of social media is you're supposed to tell me something and then I react to it. It's not, why are we leaving out all this breadcrumb trail? It sounds like you don't know. You know what, Jerry? Not only do I not know, I don't want to know. You don't want to know. 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and bonked his head. Mama called the doctor. The doctor said, "No more monkeys jumping on the bed." How do you think the doctor felt when she called him 4 more times? You guys, we are the worst mother ever. Baby's favorite bit. Dun, 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 dun. Can't tell if the wife has the naivete or competence of a child, or if OP has such an infantilized view of her we can't get an accurate idea of what's going on. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. Info, why did you marry a woman who you're treating like a child? Oh, here we go. He's almost 40 and very educated, apparently. You're the reason that the husband stitch exists. You're the reason that heteronormative primogenitor was the dominant form of monarchical inheritance in the medieval era in Western Europe. Bro, he was negative 700. Chill out. He's literally just a guy, okay? He's just like the one we had earlier. He's just an idiot. He's not responsible for all idiots everywhere just because he shares a similar mistake. And let me guess, she's 23. Let me make up like completely fabricated story. I couldn't find an answer, but that's the scenario I'm picturing. That you're fucking crazy, idiot. Then you're insane. I couldn't find this information. Information wasn't provided, so I'm just going to assume it was the worst it could possibly be. Because how do you not know how to manage your utilities after 20 years of living on your own? Unless they raise the rates on you, or you move to a bigger living space and aren't used to it. It's just like, people just make mistakes sometimes. Sometimes people take a big dookie, forget to flush the toilet. It happens. I mean, most of the time, I deal with this to like a much smaller extent. Sometimes I'll be doing something stupid, and then my wife will be like, "Why are you doing that? It's stupid." And then, like, I would say about half the time, I go, "You're right, this is dumb." And the other half of the time, I'm like offended that she's right. And I'm like, even if it is stupid, you should just let me be stupid and make a mistake. You should just let me get into a car accident instead so I actually learn my lesson. And then like a minute later, I'm like, no, you're right, it's stupid. So I get it, like, you know, I get not wanting to be told what to do all the time when you're an adult. Doesn't mean that anyone's wrong in this situation. It just means it would be annoying to be outside and be like, I want to drink this pineapple juice. And then someone goes, you don't drink that pineapple juice. You don't like pineapple. And then I'm like, well, I'm 25 years old. You think I can't even figure out what drink I want? I'm going to drink it. And then I buy it and go, I hate pineapple. Yeah, you know, you could be right. Sometimes you got to let people fight their own battles, I guess. You got to like let people be wrong sometimes. Let people enjoy not enjoying things that they don't enjoy not enjoying. Don't yuck me when I'm yumming to yuck others' yums. Did you see, by the way, so, and don't worry about HCJustin's, like all of his tweets, but he posted this collage. Hold on, maybe I can just get it up here. I'm going to save this image as Max Payne. And then at image, we'll call that Max Payne. Justin posted a picture of him eating at a Korean barbecue restaurant. And I was stunned that I was the first person who mentioned this. What the heck is not in my downloads folder? Save image. If you know, you know. Why are you not in my downloads folder? Are you you're a what the hell is a JFIF? 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 Are you stupid? Why would you save a file as a JFIF? You must be out of your mind. Hold on, I'm using Windows snip tool. Save as JPEG. There you go. Now it's been saved as a JPEG. I said, this image, it looks like Max Payne is waiting for his curbside delivery outside. Did nobody else see this? What's going on right here? I think it's a reflection of one of the diners, and then that's an empty car outside. But it looks so much like Max Payne is out in his car waiting for his Cheesecake Factory order. Like, it's so... It looks so good, dude. I was laughing so hard when I saw it. I couldn't believe that nobody else had mentioned it until I mentioned it. It's a reflection of his phone. I can see that. Like, this is the border, and then this is... I don't know, that's Max Payne's face. Oh, man. Oh, it's so good. I don't know, there's just... The human mind is a beautiful thing. Because I'm sure, like, on an objective level, it looks nothing like Max Payne. But it's just such an interesting collection of light that your brain is like, yeah, that's Max Payne, for sure. Anyway, would love to know your thoughts on this. That shit got me good, man. It kind of do? It kind of like really does. Don't worry about Midnight Suns. You'll be seeing more Midnight Suns. Just when you take time off, you got to come back with a heater. You can't be like, oh, it's Radiohead's first album in 9 years and then put out Pablo Honey 2, you know? You got to be like, this is Out Rainbows. This can't be one where, like, Tom York goes like, when you were here before. It's got to be one that starts with like a... And then in the background, there's something going like... Anyway, golf, that's right. Hey, Anel, saw you walking on the street on Friday. You were a lot taller than I thought you were. Was I walking on the street on Friday? I don't think you saw me walking on the street on Friday. It was crazy, though. I don't know if anybody saw this post on the subreddit. Legit, I was waiting for Kate at the airport. Dude walks through international arrivals like he just got off an airplane. First dude off the plane. Looks at me and says, Ryan? And I say, yeah? And he said, whoa, this is crazy. I'm a fan of yours. I just happened to be flying to Vancouver today. He was very nice, by the way. Even I was, like, flabbergasted by the coincidence of it. That's what I was, like, not to be, like, a narcissist about it at all. But imagine flying to Vancouver and one of your favorite, like, streamers is just waiting at the gate for you. Like, I was more like, I wonder what's going on in this guy's mind. He must think, like, he's actually the main character of the world. I'm so pissed that Joe got the chip and I missed my putt. It's all right. First hole of the day. Look, and his ass is still standing on the fringe, like fist pumping. What's the story about the Hamburg? This weekend was Lunar New Year. My in-laws bought me a hanbok, and Kate and the baby. So we wore the hanboks to spend some time with Kate's parents this weekend. But then after that, we were like, oh, we need groceries. We're out here anyway. We might as well go to H-Mart. Catch my ass. I'm the only white guy in a hanbok in H-Mart. Everybody's walking by me, looking at me. And I'm like, take a picture. It'll last longer. I could never. I was like, what am I going to do? I'm just gonna be, I don't know, in a hanbok at H-Mart. It's weird, don't get me wrong, but it wasn't like I was like, oh, today is a sacred Korean holiday. I'm not like other white guys. I know all the holidays of the calendar for every country in the world. Like, I was like, my ass was with my Korean in-laws, and then I had to go to the grocery store too. But I was getting, not annoyed, because I dealt with this in Korea as well. But like middle-aged Korean women would come up to me and be like, hey, you're wearing a hanbok. And I'd be like, I know. Or they'd be like, that thing that you're wearing, that's called a hanbok. It's Korean traditional clothing. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking when I put it on. I don't think they were really talking to me, though. I think they just wanted to talk because my baby was so cute in her hanbok. Which is also fine, and they were not telling any lies. Chips, the best part of the whole game. Oh no, I'm so far away! I knew that was coming. I knew it was coming. I got to feel so local pilled, by the way. A lot of bogeys here. I appreciate that. We might not be safe, but a lot of bogeys. We had our daughter's daycare companion had a birthday party. It's always fun to go to a 2-year-old's birthday party. You just eat some snacks, the kids play with each other. No big deal. When I looked at the sandwiches, when we got there, I said, holy shit, I think these sandwiches are from Il Grotto del Formaggio. Then I like, these are not normal sandwiches. They had hot peppers, marinated red peppers, artichoke hearts, mortadella. I was like, oh shit, they went all out. Then I ate one of the sandwiches and I was like, damn, this is from Il Grotto del Formaggio. Then I was talking to the dad and he was like, yeah, we just got the sandwiches from someplace on Commercial Drive. And I looked at him, I said, was it Il Grotto del Formaggio? And he said it was. And I was like, ah! This was pre-Hanbok. No, this was thankfully pre-Hanbok. If you know, you know. That's not a secret. Everyone knows about, well, everyone cool enough to go to East Van now and then knows about Il Grotto del Formaggio. I'm not that cool. I had to find out from someone who goes to East Van regularly. What profession would you do in the early 18th century in Canada? I don't know. I'd probably be like grading the furs or something like that. Like when real men hunted the animals and then skinned them and then like put the furs on like a sled that another real man like drove to a log cabin. Then they would give them to me and I'd be like, mid, pristine, bussin', mid. We got no shot. Like, I'm not even going to run the casino for the finals because there's no chance. But the mods, don't even worry. Don't even worry about running the casino for the finals. It's like, it's close to a mathematical impossibility. Wrong payout? Yo! Mods! I didn't click the button! I went to click on the right button and it said an error happened. And I was like, oh, the mods have got it. Well, now you're truly part of the show. Swiss Chalet fucking rules. It sucks. Yeah, it's like, people seem to have strong opinions on Swiss Chalet. I'm very like, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm very pro. I am pro Swiss Chalet though. It is kind of ass. I don't know how to explain it. I love the sauce. People say it tastes like dishwater. I don't know, man. I like it. I haven't eaten at Swiss Chalet in like probably 12 years or something, but I would say don't. Yeah, but next time like I visit my hometown, I gotta take my grandma out somewhere nice. And as you know, when we're talking about, you know, people from the older generation, when you say someplace nice to like a 20-year-old, it's like, you know, dim lighting and a small menu and, you know, everybody's wearing nice clothes. What they actually want when you're in like your 70s is like, you know, hey, table for 10 please and make it snappy. You want safe food, reliable food, nothing too weird. The only seafood should be like clam strips and popcorn shrimp. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, there's a... render unto Caesar that which is Caesar's, and on the Pompeys that which is Pompey's. I'll go to bat for Red Lobster. I don't know why Red Lobster always gets knocked for being like bad. It's not great. It's not that bad. The biscuits are also ass? You're crazy. Like, you can be mad about the seafood, but the biscuits are... they're divine. They're all frozen and warmed up there. Okay, fucking they taste good. What do I care? People will be like, oh, I don't like it. They cooked it in a microwave. Meanwhile, they'll be like, dude, have you had Takis hot chips? They're fucking formed by a robot out of corn slurry in a factory somewhere in Wyoming. Yeah, but that's supposed to be shit. That's what the number one thing that annoys me. Well, no, that's not even true. It literally is just the most recent thing that annoyed me. But, you know, when I ate at Olive Garden, I was like, this shit is not as bad as Americans have made it out to be. People reply like, they cook everything in the microwave. Okay, Gordon Ramsay. Still tasted okay. There's also, like, for 7 people to eat was under $100. I know they're not, you know, making all that shit fresh back there. That's not possible. They're better at microwaving than I am, just for the record. If I microwaved it, it would not taste that good. They've got the expertise. If I wanted good food, like, my ass wouldn't be at the Olive Garden. I just wanted it to taste good. It doesn't have to be good. I will say, though, listen, I had the breadsticks. I feel like the Cheddar Bay biscuits at Red Lobster are like the, they're the exception to the rule. The rule is, people will say insane stuff. Like, oh, dude, you gotta go to Cheesecake Factory. You gotta eat the brown bread. It's delicious. Oh, you gotta get the breadsticks at Olive Garden. They're tasty. Every time I end up eating at like a U.S. fast casual chain restaurant, the bread is literally just like, it's just cake. And then at Olive Garden, it's like, it's cake plus salt and Italian seasoning. Which is, I'm not going to say that it tastes bad. I'm not going to lie to you and say that, like, it's unpleasant, but it's more like, when I eat it, I'm like, this is not bread. These are like King's Hawaiian rolls, but they're made into a log instead of a brick. Same with Subway. Pump the brakes. Italian herbs and cheese is in a class all of its own. Artisan bakers in France are trying to reverse engineer the recipe for Italian herbs and cheese. But they can't, because here's the secret. Manitoban xanthan gum. It's like pizza in New York. It's because the fucking water is so fucking disgusting. You have a pizza someplace with clean water, it doesn't taste as good as a place with dirty water. It's that Athabascan xanthan gum, man. Fuck you. What a shot. There was like never a doubt in my mind. As soon as I saw the wind and our lie, I was like, it's going in. What did my ass eat? Oh, okay, listen. I have a new take, okay? So sometimes I'll order some food for pickup. Like for takeout. I don't know when we switched from takeout to pickup, but we don't need to get into that. It's a different rant for another day. And after I pay for it, it says something like, share your meal with everybody. And then it has like built-in like boilerplate copy. And it's like, I just ordered a yummy X at restaurant Y. I'll tell you what. I will tweet that. But I'm not tweeting it for free. If right before checkout, you say like, hey, if you tweet this, we'll take... Hold on, will we win the finals? Will we win the finals? Yes? No. You get 30 seconds. If you say we'll take $1, if you say we'll take 50 cents off the order, I would at least consider it. I might not take it because I don't want you to meet me at the restaurant, but I'd at least consider it. But for free, I'm not just gonna go on social media advertise for free. Are you crazy? I have full belief in myself. Oh, it hopped over the hole. Par. I just don't want to see any birdies. Par. I think we made it. Like, there is no world in which... Like, I'm not saying you can't offer the suggestion, but I think you should also accept that I think it's insane that after I just paid you, like, $17 for $6 worth of food, you also want me to debase myself and tell people on the internet how stupid I am for doing it. If you want me... I'm starting to... and I've been saying this for, like, a month. It's still a recent take. But I'm also of the opinion... That's a big ranking point. If you use the self-checkout at the grocery store, they should take like 2% off of your bill. Because I'm saving you, in theory, I'm saving you labor cost. Reality, I'm not, because whenever I scan anything, it says, stop trying to steal, criminal. We're sending someone over to just type in their code without even look at any of the shit that you put in on the scale. But that's a logistics problem with the way that you're running your fucking business, okay? That's not my fault. So I think if you take the self-checkout, there should be like a 2% self-checkout, rebate that comes at the end. And if you're like, oh, we don't want to give that kind of dividend to our customers, just say, would you like to donate your self-checkout fund to the charity, or would you like to just take it off on your card? And you're like, okay, some people will say charity at least. Also, I'm not saying I'm a hero, okay? When I go to the pet store, buy pet food, the thing on the prompt goes, would you like to donate $2 to pets in need? I say yes. That's all that it needs to be. We don't need to add the discomfort of the cashier. I'm sure it's a corporate mandate. They say, oh, thank you so much for the donation. You didn't have to do that. In fact, I would rather you didn't, because... Not just because it's $2, but also because, like, I'm not saying that they don't care, but also, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just put myself in their shoes. Like, everybody that donates $2 to a charity I'm not even involved with, I have to go, like, thanks for doing a good thing for the charity that we don't even know. 98% of the money involved in the operations might just go to paying their salaries. They might do like 2% of it might go to pets in need, honestly. Like, I'll do a roundup now and then. I'll round up, if I'm getting McDonald's for me, my wife, and my baby, I'll round up to the nearest dollar.
Round one.
Absolutely. Grocery stores only do that for tax purposes. Well, luckily, this isn't a grocery store, it's a pet store. So I think I'm in the clear. Over the log? Ooh, not bad. I watched Heat yesterday. I rewatched Heat this weekend. Still insanely good. Dude, Lot of people got a similarly great idea. It is a great movie. This movie is good. And your cast is all the way up it. I don't remember all the quotes from Heat, so instead I'm just gonna like make up some quotes. You can come to my house. You can fuck my wife. But you do not get to watch my frickin' TV! Pretty close? Pretty close? Give me like some 3.8 backspin. Whoa! Actually, kind of worked out still. Might have gotten a little lucky. Whoa, that's going to be off the green. Whatever. Accept your par. I would say accept the par. My man's a medical disaster? I mean, not really. What's your Peloton output like? My 45-minute ride today was like, wow, what a chip. It was like, yeah, average like 197 watts for 45 minutes. And then, I mean, in the cool down ride, it was more like 110 watts, but you're not supposed to measure your output really then anyway. It's more of like you're just cooling it down. I'd rather chip this one. Told you. Dude, if they made a 45-minute Sufjan Stevens ride, I'd be the top 0%. My ass would be like took my bike to the lake, brought my shovel, brought my rake, took my boy to the swing, let him swing, let them ring. Bought my friends Italian beef, make them fart and make them queef. Abraham Lincoln was governor here. Only a steel man can be alive. You know what I'm talking about? Sufjan Stevens? Is that an actual song? Yeah? Yeah, I remembered the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics. I got that off Kazaa. Is that not right? Oh, you piece! I know, all the new Sufjan Stevens heads, they haven't listened to Illinois. It's a little too conventional for my taste, Dad. I prefer the age of ads, where every song, I have known you for just a little while. I listen to that shit too. I get down with all of it, man. Carrie and Lowell, best album. It just came out, right? It was 2012, something like that. If Sufjan Stevens made actually an album for every state, here's a good question for you. What state would be the best? Now, it's possible that Illinois is the best. A lot of people like the Michigan album, too. I'm not trying to insult the Michigan album. A lot of people, many people are saying it's one of the best albums Sufjan Stevens ever made about a U.S. state. I think that's, listen, my heart says Sufjan Stevens could make a crazy California album, but I also feel like he could make a nuts Alaska. I feel like he could go crazy on the Alaska. And I'd love to hear that Hawaii album, too. Which state would be the worst? I feel like a Delaware album would be pretty shitty. Like, what's he going to write about? They're the first state, but they haven't done anything except be like a tax haven. No, all the American southern states are going to go hard because there's like so much trauma to mine from the Civil War. And then I feel like the states people are saying, like, what about North Dakota? Well, I feel like North Dakota, like, Sufjan, he does well with empty space. He lets it envelop, and then he develops. I gotta think about, like, I'm thinking, like, Delaware. Rhode Island? Like, what's he gonna say about Rhode Island? do a new theme song for the Quahog clan? I don't think so. Don't embarrass yourself, by the way. If you're from Rhode Island, I'm not saying your state sucks. I'm just saying Sufjan Stevens' album about your state would probably not be the best album of all the states. In fact, I'm saying it would be the worst album probably, but... What a shot, by the way. Almost bricked it a little. Uh-oh, 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 uh-oh. My new catchphrase, saying uh-oh in an increasingly annoying timbre. And then going, ooh. So good. I hate to say it, by the way. It kind of drives me crazy. But like all those videos where they put the Subway Surfer clip like next to a classic movie, it really does help my attention. Like, it's not like I am like, as soon as I start watching a clip from My Dinner with Andre, like I get bored, because I respect it. But like, I'm way more likely to watch the whole thing when the Subway Surfer video's on it. And I realize, by the way, that I'm not even paying attention to what's going on in the Subway Surfer video. I'm just doing it. Like, I'm just watching that, and then like, Wallace Shawn is in the background. Have you ever considered that actually man's task in life is to always surmount a challenge and then find themselves with another challenge to be surmounted? And it's our lot in life to be unsatisfied, but trick ourselves into thinking that we're making progress when actually we're just running on a hedonistic treadmill. And I'm like, oh shit. I think it's helping out. Oh God, I'm relating. And every time I like open the thing, I open the video, I'm like, I'm not going to watch the Subway Surfer this time. And then like 3 seconds into it, I'm like, he got all the coins. What came first, by the way? Subway Surfer or Despicable Me Minion Rush? Subway Surfer? Okay, fair enough. I was like, hey, does anyone else realize that Subway Surfer is just Despicable Me Minion Rush reskinned? Are you guys not familiar with the Game Loft oeuvre? Dude, they should make a... Check it out. Here's those videos with Subway Surfer, but for Gen X. And it's like millennial humor or Gen Z humor. But then in the corner, it's got a little video of like Nirvana Unplugged playing. Oh, dude, that would go fucking crazy. And they would be like, I'm sick of being the most hated generation that was forgotten. When I got home from school, my mom wasn't even there. She just gave me a key. But that was back when MTV still played music, baby. So it wasn't so bad. But I hate that, oh, boomers fighting, millennials fighting, me, Gen Z in the corner, num, 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 eating a snack until my mom comes home from work. Who's your favorite VTuber? I'd have to say it's between Ed the Sock and Triumph the Insult Comic Dog. I don't want to go off on a rant here, but does anybody else think that the rise of Vocaloids actually started with the popularity of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog? Who's your favorite C-list actor? I don't know. Good question. I have no idea. C-list actor. Leonardo DiCaprio? Ice-T? He's not SVU. He's not as... Don Cheadle? These are not C-list actors. Minus Felicia Day. I don't know what happened. Like, maybe it's to me. But I hate every piece of, like, extreme millennial media ever made. I don't hate the people that made it. Just to be clear. But, like, the idea of watching an episode of The Guild, it just doesn't strike me as something I want to do. Or the same thing, like, and this is, everyone's with me, like, on that one, I think. But then they're going to lose me on this next one, because I'm about to say, or Community. And I watched Atriarch watch an episode of Community, and I was like, I get that this is funny, but also I sort of hate that it obviously knows it's funny as well. I guess and I'm not saying Community's not good. I'm simply saying that kind of like precocious, I don't know, like funny writing that's clever kind of annoys me. I prefer like shit that makes you like laugh because you're like uncomfortable with it, instead of like, wow, that is true. How this, is just. I mean, I'm not gonna insult Community by comparing it to Family Guy necessarily. I'm just saying. Like, compare the funniest quote ever from Community to Four Nons, Jeremy. Four Nons. I know who I'm taking, okay? That's all. I'm not saying you can't enjoy Community. There's worse shows, no doubt about it. Seinfeld sucks. You don't have to do the thing where, like, I made fun of your favorite show, so you insult a show that I think is pretty good, okay? We can all just accept that all these shows are good and bad. The thing is, it's about our personality that changes them. Your stream style is more like Community, though. I know, it's my cross to bear. I guess I'm glad there's some people out there that like it. Like that, I think it's the difference between like Chiblee and myself. Chiblee just says things that are funny. I say jokes. And sometimes they make people laugh. But what Chiblee says is funny. I don't know how to describe it. He doesn't say jokes. There's no premise, like follow up and then double down. Chiblee will just be like, it do be fartin'. And I'm like, that's like, I know I use the same comparison every time, but I'm like Salieri when Mozart is like annotating or dictating how the symphony should be like, and then no, it should be like this, and like the joke, her pussy do be farting is like appearing in my head, and I'm like, scratch, how did you come up with that? I don't know, it just sort of, I'm just saying things. He's just saying, why would God give such a incredible natural talent to such a petulant individual? I don't. Her pussy be farting though. I know it smell crazy in there, like. Meanwhile, I can't make my own magic flute opera. The closest I can get is a damned facsimile. A facile impression of greatness. People will really be like, I'm not going to use your pronouns. It's too much to remember. By the way, can I have a foot-long cold cut combo on Italian herbs and cheese with orange cheese, toasted, lettuce, tomato, onions, red peppers, cucumbers, black olives, hot peppers, and just one line of mayonnaise, please? Like, it's... You can tell... Oh, no. You can tell it's trying to be the real thing, but it's just not quite there. No oil and vinegar? Bro, I'm not going to put oil and vinegar on my Subway sandwich. It's not a real sandwich. I don't want it to start thinking it's a real sandwich. Oh, and just, can I just get a hint of oil and vinegar? No, it's garbage. I'm shoving a loaf of garbage in my mouth, and that's fine. But let's not give it the air that I'm actually like this is not the Top Chef introduction. You know, or not Top Chef, Master Chef. Like they're just slinging whatever on top of it that I tell them to do. That would be a great bit, though. What about the Top Chef? The Master Chef intro. The Chef's Table intro. I finally got it right. But it's just someone assembling a Subway sandwich like really badly. Because the central conceit of that show is that all the food looks amazing, which it does. This is such a Community bit. You shut the fuck up, okay? You come in here being toxic like that, saying I remind you of Community. Next you're going to tell me this reminds you of like your favorite episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer or some shit like that. This reminds me of my favorite song from Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog. Why did the M&M Corporation stop using the M&Ms? Why are they using Maya Rudolph now? I'm not against it. Like, it's, every culture has its corporate spokespeople. Times, what a horrendous putt. Oh, you're absolutely right. It must be a Super Bowl commercial lead up. It's Baby Nut 2.0. Yeah. Makes perfect sense. Wow, Joe! Baby Nut's still alive. I wish the worst for him. Someone's got to take matters into their own hands. I mean, there's no coincidence. January 2020, Baby Nut. March 2020, COVID-19. You think that, like, around that period, maybe, like, October, November 2019, they opened up, like, an old tomb in Egypt or something like that, and then, like, there was, like, an honorable guy who's like, I'm here for the hieroglyphics, but then there was, like, some guy who's like, I'm here for the treasure, and maybe it's, like, his wife's sister, wife's brother, I should say, and then they found the tomb, and they was like, look at this, the lost king of Nefertiti. This has so much cultural importance. And then over in the corner, there's Nigel, no! Like a flock of fucking bad SoundCloud rappers and anti-vaccine rhetoric and the disease itself. And then also Baby Nut comes flying out and young Sheldon. What have you done? Just got back from Vancouver. Have you considered adding a left turn lane to the city? You're preaching to the damn choir. If Bear's still here, I'm sure he'll tell you the same thing. It's like his enduring memory of being in Vancouver is they don't make there's no fucking left turn lights in the whole city. But again, I think they do it because they want driving to be annoying so that you drive less. But my ass is not gonna stop. People are like 3 rights is a left. Yeah, but like, listen, 3 rights is a left, but also it depends. Sometimes you need to turn left at intersection X. For 3 rights to equal a left, you have to go 1 intersection past. Sometimes your ass needs to turn left 1 intersection past, puts you on like a fucking bridge or something like that. So you're like, okay, I'll just do the next intersection. And then you're like next to the water for 18 blocks, and you're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm just stuck driving straight over and over. Plus, all the other ones are fucking one way. And listen, instead, what I do is I turn left, and I just like it just takes forever. Will we make the finals? We did, but this was not. I'm deleting this. This is not the way we were supposed to run this casino. Will we make the semis? Also, like, I'll just be straight up with you. Could I take 3 rights? Yes, but no, I'm not gonna do that. I need to turn left. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to say, fuck you and fuck me. I'll wait at this damn light. I'll wait at the corner of fucking West 4th and Alma with 3 cars in front of me. It'll take 5 lights for all of us to get through. You know why? Because I'm not in a fucking rush. I'll just catch me in my car. Da-na-na-na-na, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun. I saw your picture, your name in lights above it. This is your big debut. It's like a dream come true. And when you smile for the camera. And then this is like 7 lights changing. I'm going like this in my car. I'm going like, person in front of me, you just see them going, ah, da, 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 beating their steering wheel. Peggy will come back to you. Peggy will come back to you. Okay, nice putts, you golf psychos. Would you consider yourself a utilitarian? I'm just like a guy. Birdie, 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 par. Birdie. Like when something happens to me, I have to make a decision. I don't have to go like, or I don't go like, what would a utilitarian do in this situation? I go, oh shit, what the fuck am I gonna do? He's deontologically complete? What the heck is deontology? Is it like a dinosaur or something? I do remember once, you know, in college you just meet people. You'll be out walking through the John Deutsch University Center. You'll see a sign that says free pizza for this club. You walk in even though you're not a member of the club. You grab a slice of free pizza. You start talking to some people. I could not for the life of me remember how this situation came to pass. but there was like, I don't want to call it like an anarchist newspaper, but like a counterculture zine on campus. Somehow we found ourselves having a couple of beers with like the writers of it in the newsroom. And I just remember like me and like a couple of friends of mine were there, and they were all there, and they were talking about like Dadaism, and I was like, what the fuck is happening here? I actually have, with no disrespect, I didn't say this, but I was like, I have no idea what the hell what they're saying means. Like, I'm 19 years old. We're talking about like extreme philosophical issues on a Saturday. I have nothing else with this story. That's the only thing I remember. I still, to this day, I don't know what Dadaism is. NL hasn't read The Stranger? I've read The Stranger! Mother died today, or maybe it was yesterday. You think I don't know that shit? Who is Albert Camus? .8. Backspin. Oh no, my water! Let me hit from the beach. I can make it. Oh! That's no, dude, I'm not in the water. I'm on the sand. The water's lapping me. By the way, Philly has the largest collection of American Duchamp works. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what that means. And I definitely don't know who asked. Who the hell is a Duchamp? He's a Dadaist? What is Dada? Nobody's defining what Dada is. It's an absurdist art movement? You mean like Leonardo da Vinci? I mean, come on, the Vitruvian Man? What am I supposed to believe? That this guy's got 6 arms? Plus 2. I can't. I'm so knowledgeable about art and the arts. Was crap a curse word when you were a kid? I don't know. I probably wouldn't feel comfortable saying crap in front of my parents until I was like maybe 11. But I definitely remember we ate at the Buffet Delight on Gardeners Road. Maybe it's Bath Road. I can't remember. I ate there with my parents and my grandparents, and we're in the 4th grade, swearing up a storm, you know, frig this, frig that. And I just remember, like, I was getting annoyed because my grandpa was he was like, hey, you got to eat, like, some more of this stuff. Hey, why don't you try this? I just remember I said, hey, frig off, I don't want to eat it. And then everyone looked at me, and I was like, oh. I was like so embarrassed that I said frig in front of my parents. And then I was even more embarrassed because they were clearly like making fun of me about the fact that it's not even a bad word at all. So it was like already I broke the code. And then also they were like, why were you even keeping a secret that you say frig? And I was like, frig off. I don't care. I was laughing so hard too when this was like a week ago, but Dick Hammer made the tweet that like he was talking to a mom at Girl Scouts or something, and the mom was like, check out what my daughter just wrote me, and it's a note that just says, fuck you, mom. They're like 8 years old or something, so it's spelled wrong. Dude, kids are so funny. It's the kind of thing like when you see it, you'd think that maybe it would like break your heart, but I think I would be laughing. Like I looked after my daughter for 6 days. Straight. You know, sun up to sundown, rolling around, see where the bad guys are to be found and make them lay down. Changed all the diapers, did all the baths, cooked the meals, handled the naps, etc., okay? I planted the wheat. I watered the crops. I harvested the grain. I milled it into flour. And then I shared the bread. Mommy comes home. This morning, I wake her up. She's like, Daddy. I hug her. I put her down. She starts pushing me. I don't want you. I don't like you. I want mommy. Didn't even, like, affect my feelings at all. I was just like, kids will be kids, man. She wants mommy. And then I was like, Kate, I got a live one for you. And then I went down and I had breakfast. Yeah, my kid minus 2'd me. That's okay. She plus 2 stuff I do that is not funny at all, too. Oh! I was also laughing. If anybody from the daycare is watching this, you know it was a great birthday party this weekend. Great sandwiches, great pizza, potato chips, sparkling water. There was a bouncy castle at the venue. There was a playground right outside. It was a great birthday party. Everything was handled very well. When we left the birthday party, I said, how was that? She said, that was a bad party. I was like, what the hell? Literally just got like a homemade cupcake and snacks and got to play with your friends and, like, you know, grab balloons and stuff like that. You got the audacity to say it's a bad party. We went to the playground next to the party for like half an hour. She was like, this is the best playground ever. This is the best playground ever. Then after we were done, I was like, so how was the party? She was like, it was pretty good. I didn't realize she had such high standards, man. Is this better than Mario Golf? I would say considerably. It's like, it's really good training for real golf because you actually have to do the motions yourself. Oh, you piece of shit. Didn't Mario Golf had motion controls? Yeah, but it wasn't real golf. It was like a race. So as a result, I'm going to erase it from my frickin' Nintendo Switch. What do you call that thing at the front? On the home menu? The carousel? Holy -2. Holy -2, Batman. Do you pick up real golfing while you live stream it? Nope. 0% chance. Oh no, that's not plausible. And yet it happened. The devs are against him. Every single person is my enemy. Oh, the treachery. Every single person wants to be my enemy. Isn't it misery? I don't know. I've only heard the Germa version. I've never heard the real song. And that's not a bit. That's the damn truth.
The only thing I remember from Arcane was, oh, the misery. Every single person is my enemy. That's all. That's the only thing I know. I don't know anything else.
Oh, my ass is dead. Okay, that's fine. You've heard it, lion ass? I've not heard it. Is it by Imagine Dragons or is that a meme? It is. I'm not gonna listen to that shit. Are you crazy? Yeah, whatever. It's a decent day. Decent day out on the links. This seems very easy to do. Am I crazy? Nightcrawler to Raiders of the Lost Ark. I find it hard to believe that Harrison Ford has not been in a movie with Jake Gyllenhaal. But Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal must have been in the same movie. You connect to Blade Runner 2049. Well, let's think about this for a second without going through Marvel. You've also got Renee Russo, but I don't know what the fuck she's been in. Just being straight up with you. So you got Jake Gyllenhaal, Harrison Ford. We're going to Harrison Ford. What other movies has he been in with an ensemble cast? You got Gary Oldman, courtesy of Air Force One. You got Brendan Fraser, courtesy of that movie where Harrison Ford is a doctor. You got The Fugitive with Tommy Lee Jones. You got Blade Runner 2049 with Jared Leto and also with Ryan Gosling. It's like, without going through Marvel, that's like the tricky part. Because you can obviously go Jake Gyllenhaal to Hugh Jackman to something with Ryan Gosling. Then you got Star Wars. So you could be looking at like an Oscar Isaac. You could be looking at a... It's amazing how many careers have been killed by the Star Wars sequels. Adam Driver. Couldn't name... I mean, we're not going to attack the block, so let's not worry. Like, listen, okay. Let's try to find an actor. I think we're looking for Ryan Gosling to Blade Runner or Oscar Isaac to Star Wars. That's how I'm thinking about it right now. Well, okay, this is not really fair. I didn't know Riz Ahmed was in Nightcrawler, but he is in Rogue One, so I'm sure you could connect there. But I'm trying to avoid the Star Wars if possible. You got Bill Paxton to Harrison Ford. It definitely seems doable. Like Bill Paxton to Helen Hunt via Twister, and then you're right in the mix in the 90s. But let's go Jake Gyllenhaal. So I think I'm just going to do some scrolling. We're trying not to use Spider-Man. Let's see who is in these. Okja also has Tilda Swinton. Also has... Wait, that's the wrong Ryan, though. Life has Ryan Reynolds. Nocturnal Animals. Amy Adams. Harrison Ford. Nightcrawler. Good movie. Prisoners. End of Watch. Michael Pena. Source Code. Vera Farmiga. Love and Other Drugs. Never gonna see that. The Sands of Time. I thought his filmography was like really good, but there's a lot of shit in here. You ever notice that? Zodiac, though, obviously you get Robert Downey Jr., Heath Ledger via Brokeback Mountain. Who am I trying to get to? Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. Why is this so hard? It feels like this... I know I said it should be easy. It's because Harrison Ford took like a 20-year break in acting. Okay, scroll me up. We're down at the bottom. So I think I'm my gut tells me that you go Life into Ryan Reynolds. And then you just got to get to Ryan Gosling. You're telling me he hasn't been in one of these shitty Netflix originals? With you? Every streamer is in Free Guy. He's not in Six Underground? Wait, Ryan Gosling. Okay, you can always rely on Hobbs and Shaw to serve as a hub. And then from Hobbs and Shaw, we're trying to get to Ryan Gosling or Oscar Isaac. Ah, shit. I'm lost. Where's the intersection point, you piece of crap? Hang on. Cliff Curtis, Dr. Sleep. Ewan McGregor. And then a Star Wars movie that also has Harrison Ford in it. Come on. Come on. You tell it. There you go. Right there. Harrison Ford, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Listen, not elegant. And we had to... I think it's pretty cool to connect through Cliff Curtis, at least. You could have just done Riz Ahmed at that point. Yeah, but he's no Cliff Curtis. Come on. I think it was too bad. Switch music still playing? Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, actoral. Should really make an actoral screen region. Okay, they've been in movies as recently as a few years ago. Most of them are very middling. Are any of them truly terrible? Like a 4.7 from 2001 is pretty bad. 5.3 from 2012 it's not great. Just tell me they're not 70. That's all I want to know, okay? Lot of... So I can tell you right now they're British because they only do dramas and fantasy comedies. They started working in 1969, so they're old as dirt. What the fuck? Is there Austin Powers in here? This is Face Off? Drama, romance, Face Off? Face? This seems so gettable. 7.4 drama, romance. This is Julia. Chocolat. 7.9 2000 crime movie. Murder in Los Cabo. A 7 from 2008. A simple man. A serious man. A serious man. That's not even the right number of letters, but I can't get it out of my head. I know you're not Michael Stuhlbarg, but maybe Michael Stuhlbarg was in a movie with you? Nope. Oh, shit. I'm in trouble. Why? Stop! You know what? I'm done with that. I'm actually done with actorial. You know why? I'm fucking sick of 70 to 80-year-old actors. I'm sorry. That's not my generation. I'm using a website. I'm not accessing your website, via a book in the library or a telegram sent to my front door or something like that. When it's like old, normal, old, old, young, old child, old, middle age, then that's fine. Then there's a back and forth. But when it's always old people the whole time, get over yourself. I'm done. You had your chance, actorial. We're going to Framed instead. Framed. Okay, what is this movie? I couldn't tell you. It's from the 70s. Hello. Okay.
Why is it so small?
What are you talking about? It looks perfectly cromulent to me.
How are you supposed to see anything with that?
That's not big enough?
Well, I don't even know. I feel like a boomer. I have to squint my eyes like a boomer look at the cell phone.
There you go. How's that? This looks like a movie from the 70s, so I've not seen it. This looks like it's in Paris.
That's a Rome.
This is All the President's Men. I spelled it wrong. It's not even on here. This is Rome? No, this is Paris.
That's a Rome.
This is Paris.
That's a Rome.
Either way, I don't know what this is. This is the Pink Panther. It's not even in here. I submit.
That's Paris?
That's Philadelphia. This is Rocky.
It's not Rome?
I know this guy. I submit. Is this a James Bond? Are you a James Bond? Submit. Is this not All the President's Men? Am I going crazy? Is this Straw Dogs? Wrong. The answer was Marathon Man.
What was the first one?
It's the same. They're all from the same. They're all from the same film.
Oh.
I don't know Marathon Man. I don't watch movies from the 1970s starring Dustin Hoffman.
Well, if it makes you feel better, nobody guessed it in the chat.
How about, yeah, guess the game I can handle.
That's gonna be too easy.
This shit is super hot.
I like the butt. There's like 4 butt cheeks.
Am I wrong? This is super hot, right? No results found? No, never mind. That's it. It's super. Okay, she's right. It's too easy.
Super butt cheeks.
It's the easiest one I've ever seen. Whoa, okay. Now this is literally impossible.
I know what it is.
Oh, come on.
You wanna know what it is?
Yes.
It's Dunes.
Is that a joke?
No.
I don't know what this is. I'm going to say this is Darksiders 2. Wrong. It's not out yet. It's in early access. It's about outer space. Starfield. Wrong. Original platform PC. Space Engineers. It's wrong.
No Man's Land.
Genre, strategy. Is this satisfactory? It is satisfactory. I'm crazy. I'm kind of insane at guess the game. Maybe because I'm such a big gamer. See, this looks very gettable.
Really?
This looks like the way you would make a skybox in an endless game, like Endless Dungeon.
I don't even know what I'm looking at.
So I'm gonna say that this is Endless Legend. No, never mind. This is Super Brothers Sword and Sorcery EP. Oh, see, this is like looks cute. Looks like a mobile game. What's that mobile game? What's that? Monument Valley? Oh, I'm crazy.
Crazy.
I've never played it. I'm out of my mind. Oh, it's garbage. I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I know what it is.
What is this one?
Assassin's Creed.
This is an Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not Tashiro Masashi?
Azaz.
This is probably Assassin's Creed
1.
1. Wrong. The original release is too old for Metacritic.
Now I can see how it's old. It's just JPEG.
I have no idea. I pass. I skip. It's arcade machines in the Dreamcast. This is Soul Calibur 1. Oh, excuse me? Soul Calibur. This is Power Stone. This is Soul Edge. This is Soul Calibur. Am I crazy?
Maybe you just have to type it.
It's one word, you piece of... You liars! Soul Calibur. I got one more in me. Oh, it's Soul Calibur. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Oh!
I know this.
I know this.
I know this for sure. I don't think it's VVVVV. I'll try it because I don't know. I was going to skip, so I'll pass.
Oh, it's the Enter the Gungeon, dude. Or the nuclear...
Nuclear Throne. She's right. Nuclear Throne. I was in the same boat. I was like, let's Enter the Gungeon. Who said Jackbox?
Similar.
Here we go. This is gettable.
I know what it is. Do you know what it is? Do you want the answer?
Yeah, yeah.
Get over it.
Get over here?
No,
Getting over it.
Getting over it.
Yo,
Oh my
she's
God,
crazy.
So good.
It's an angle I've never seen before.
It's the part that you hop and then there's the hat and the bat shows up.
That is actually crazy.
I'm so good. I didn't even play that game. What's crazy is that I didn't even play that game.
How about this one? Hot Shot.
It's Aladdin.
Come on now.
It looks kind of like Aladdin.
This is Eco. This is Kunio-kun Neketsu Complete Famicom Hen.
Why do you talk like that?
If I had to guess, I would say this is probably Foot Taru, Nicholas Anelka. No. Metacritic score 81.
Oh, it's the Zelda of the Wind.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
No.
The Wind Waker.
No.
What is that?
It's an absolutely hideous UI. PC, Xbox One?
Xbox One.
Are you Sea of Thieves?
Oh, that has to be it. What?
Action Adventure. I pass.
Rancher?
Is this Slime Rancher? I don't know. I've never played Slime Rancher. Oh!
Dude, the teamwork is popping off.
Oh.
We're so good.
I still think it could be Foot Taru, Nicholas Anelka.
Not the...
Oh, I'm not insulting Slime Rancher. I just thought the UI looked like it was from Subway Surfers. But even not the UI, just the little part of the HUD.
How's your thumb?
It's okay.
Yo, it looks nice.
I do think that, like, because this is kind of like, it's my thumb.
Don't do that, please.
I do think that maybe there's a nail growing underneath this little crack here, and it's starting to push out the broken part of the nail.
Don't touch it. Whatever you do, don't touch it.
Are you ready to stream?
Yeah, I just gotta put myself in.
She said yeah, and then says something else, which is a very roundabout way of saying no. Wait, a roundabout way of saying no, or like the nail? I mean, the nail's not that bad. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong, but it's like, it gets better every time. So that little red splotch is like that's blood that got trapped under the nail when I smashed my thumb. And then there's like a crack in the nail. And then the red, like brownish red part at the bottom, I don't know, it's like damage to the nail bed, but I think it's getting better. Yeah, I think there's a new one coming in underneath. So I think at some point I'm going to have to trim the old one off or something, but I don't know, we'll figure it out. A rat bit me. That's gross. It's not that gross. What is, Malf, what is that? A rat bit me. It's gross. It's not that gross. Oh, it is from I Think You Should Leave. Twitter.com/Chiblee. You think it's a little messed up that Chiblee doesn't follow me on his alts, where he tweets all of like his normal tweets? Chiblee's new tweet. Just downvoted a Reddit post. I don't give an F. That's not... I thought this was supposed to be funny. Or is it the tweet on his alt account? The tweet on his alt account got me laughing, where there's like the Doritos bag that's super full, and then it's so puffed up with air, and then they squeeze it a little, and all the chips fall out into the aisle of the airplane on top of the dude's foot. This is really good. It's on @Chiblee. It's a reply. That explains it. Your third has to wear this, and it's like a Bayonetta dress. Okay, it's humorous, I suppose. How droll. If I was gonna wear that, I probably would have run it the day after the norovirus, because I was looking a little cut up, honestly. Nowadays, I had the opportunity to put a little bit of the meat back on. Kate has gone live. Okay, I'll send you over there. Well, that's the thing. I was serving a little bit, but I was also serving like heavily ill vibes. Like, I was serving illness for sure. But like, it is like the most emaciated I've looked probably in like 15 years. Saying something. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow. Later. My ass will be like... Took my bike to the lake, brought my shovel, brought my rake. Took my boy to the swing, let him swing, let them ring. Bought my friends Italian beef, make them fart and make them queef. Abraham Lincoln was governor here. Only a steel man can be alive. You know what I'm talking about?